So here's the thing. You mean to tell me that the presidents that got assassinated were the ones that the Indians that voted for because we had the majority?
Hey, Teddy Roosevelt. Wait, what happened?
The presidents that got assassinated were the ones that we voted in because we had the majority.
That makes sense.
And because they were set up to where we had the majority and we voted for the presidents, the vice president was sure to take over because they was gonna kill the president. So you're talking about from 1790 to when? So wait a minute. The first assassination was when? Please don't tell me it was 1790.
First assassination was okay, so before Lincoln, Civil War. So far, I'm looking before, but I think it's Lincoln. Nope.
I mean, I'm sure I can look it up to find out when the first president, who was the first president of the United States that was assassinated. Well,
They say Abraham Lincoln was the first.
you said Lincoln was the first?
Yeah.
Yeah, they said Lincoln in 1865. Then 16 years later, 1881, James A. Garfield.
Yep.
And they move, and if you look at it, it maneuvers around policies. So you got to realize the reason why they're considering this U.S. presidency now different than before, this is after the war.
Right.
See, after the war, they don't consider it U.S. presidents really in history like that because they were divided. The South had a president, the North had a president.
Okay. Do the vision says vice president equals converse to the president. Oh, that was Lincoln one. Oh, my bad, Lincoln. Oh, Link one. My bad. That's interesting. Right, because that was during the time when we started having a lot of say. We started having a lot of power. We were able to vote in presidents.
Okay, so the list is starting with Abraham Lincoln, then James Garfield, then William McKinley, then John Kennedy, then Harry Truman.
And the thing you want to check about them is check out their policies.
You're talking about whether their policy is Indian friendly or not. Is that what you're trying to figure out?
Some of them were dealing with the financial institution, like Lincoln and Kennedy. That deal with the banking system, because they both were trying to bring in debt-free money. Lincoln with the greenbacks, which got passed into law 2 weeks after his assassination. They returned it, and it went back to the Federal Reserve. Same thing with Kennedy. A lot of people don't know. He was trying to do debt-free money.
This is what it's talking about with Garfield here is talking about his involvement with the Potomac Railroad and
So while y'all doing that, I'm gonna look up the USS Maine. It said it was sunk. It said the United States Navy ship that sank in Havana Harbor in February 1898, contributing to the outbreak of the Spanish-American War in April. American newspapers engaging in yellow journalism to boost circulation claimed that the Spanish were responsible for the ship's destruction. The phrase "Remember the Maine, to hell with Spain" became a rally cry for action. Although the Maine explosion was not a direct cause, it served as a catalyst that accelerated the events leading up to the war. Quick question, James, Doodle Vision. Could the ESA have had something to do with that sinking of Maine? The reason why I'm asking is because it reads that it says the United States Navy ship that sank in Havana Harbor in February 1898 contributed to the outbreak of the Spanish-American War. In April, American newspapers engaged in yellow journalism to boost circulation claimed that the Spanish were responsible for the ship's the ship's destruction. And then Mr. TJ said, well, someone dressed up as ESA. Remember the Maine, the hell with Spain. Since Maine was commissioned in 1895 as an armored cruiser, the first U.S. Navy ship to be named after the state of Maine. Maine and the similar battleship Texas were both represented as an advance in American warship design, reflecting the latest European naval developments. Both ships had two gun turrets, staggered in echelon, and full masts were omitted due to the increased reliability of steam engines. Due to the protracted 9-year construction period, Maine and Texas were obsolete by the time of completion. Far more advanced vessels were either in service or nearing completion that year. Maine was sent to Havana Harbor to protect U.S. interests during the Cuban War of Independence. She blew up and sank on the evening of April 15, 1898, killing 3/4 of her crew. In 1898, a U.S. Navy Board of Inquiry ruled that the ship had been sunk by an external explosion from a mine. However, some U.S. Navy officers disagreed with the board, suggesting that the ship's magazines had been ignited by a spontaneous fire in a coal bunker. The coal used in Maine was bituminous, which is known for releasing fire damp, a gas that is prone to spontaneous explosion. An investigation by Admiral Hyman Rickover in 1974 agreed with the coal fire hypothesis. The cause of her sinking remains a subject of debate. So, Gabby, you found what you was looking for?
Yes.
Okay. So what you find?
Well, I found what Bones was talking about. Presidents, what was going on at the time, what they were influencing.
Okay. So I'm back on the Rough Riders, which we got the link from the 10th Calvary, and it proceeds to say that President McKinley needed to muster a strong ground force swiftly, which he did by calling 125,000 volunteers to assist in the war. The U.S. had gone to war in opposition to Spain's colonial policies in Cuba, which was then torn by a rebellion. The regiment was also nicknamed Woods Weary Walkers for its first command, Colonel Leonard Wood. This reflected their dissatisfaction that Despite being cavalry, they ended up fighting in Cuba as infantry, since their horses were not sent there with them. Why would you take a cavalry unit that's used to fighting with horses and just put them on foot? Unless you want them to lose. Doesn't make any sense. Or provide them with horses over there. It says, Wood's second in command was former Assistant Secretary of the Navy Theodore Roosevelt, a strong advocate of supporting the Cuban War of Independence. When Wood was promoted to become commander of the 2nd Cavalry Brigade, the regiment became known as Roosevelt's Rough Riders. The term was borrowed from Buffalo Bill, who called his traveling Western show Buffalo Bill's Wild West and Congress of Rough Riders of the World. The original plan called for the regiment to be composed of frontiersmen from the Indian Territory, the Mexican Territory, the New Mexico Territory, the Arizona Territory, and the Oklahoma Territory. However, after Roosevelt joined the ranks, it attracted an odd mixture of Ivy League athletes, Glee Club singers, Texas Rangers, and American Indians. New Division says Bay of Pigs a prequel. So it said that you had Ivy League athletes, all league athletes, Ivy League athletes, Glee Club singers, Texas Rangers, and Native Americans. So you know the Texas Rangers were the actual Seminole, Alabama Indians. The Native Americans were the other Indians that partook, the other volunteers. It says all accepted into the regiment had to be skilled horsemen and eager to see combat. The Rough Riders will receive more publicity than any other army until the war. Stop. Which goes back to what Bones was saying and what James had confirmed. The Rough Riders will receive more publicity than any other army unit in that war. Doodle Vision says, remember, Seminoles were going back and forth between Florida and Cuba during the Seminole War. That's right. Forgot about that. So, they gave more focus to the Rough Riders than the Buffalo Soldiers because they wanted to whitewash the regiment. They said they were best remembered for their conduct during the Battle of San Juan Hill, though it is seldom mentioned how heavily they outnumbered the Spanish soldiers who opposed them. Several days after the Battle of San Juan Hill, the Spanish fleet sailed from Cuba, and in only a few weeks, an armistice ending the fight would be signed. Despite the brevity of their service, the Rough Riders would become legendary, thanks in large part to Roosevelt writing his own history of the regiment, plus the silent film reenactments made several years later. There you go. And that's the whitewashing began. So is that the reason why the Roosevelt was for Cuba getting their independence because the Seminoles were going back and forth? Do division? Do division says power washing pulls the skin right off of you.
So apparently, Theodore Roosevelt and Ronald Reagan, there were attempts, they were trying to assassinate them too.
So the Cuban War was to help the Seminoles. This gets more and more interesting the more I read, the more I learn. He said Teddy Bear was pro-national park. So, for brevity's sake, because I know that you got a lot of other stuff to do, help me understand what national parks do and why national parks are good. Indian lands. Okay, got it. You know exactly where I was going. He said, I shall kick in the door shoulder. Well, you know you're always welcome, bro. Because you, between you bones, no sellout Gabby, Copper Indio, y'all make my job a lot easier and y'all help me put a lot of pieces together. So always welcome. You are. So we know the Rough Riders' whole purpose was to whitewash the Buffalo Soldiers. Thank you, Do Division. Appreciate you as always. So, Gabby.
Well, apparently national parks protect the best of our natural heritage.
Go deeper, you come to find out national parks are ancestral lands that's held in trust.
It says
controlled by the United States government.
Yep, it says National Park Service has been entrusted with the care of our national parks with the help of volunteers. It also says that national parks are large areas of public land set aside for native plants, animals, and places in which they live.
Yeah, we're gonna put a pin in that. Read that last part again, Gabby. Just.
Oh. National parks are large areas of public land set aside for native plants, animals, and places in which they live.
So they're set aside. Okay.
Apparently this is consistent. They do this everywhere. Indonesia, Netherlands, United Kingdom.
It's how you...
Go ahead. No, you good. Go ahead.
It's how you get indigenous people lands and control the mineral rights. That's why I say we can, even doing this search, we can never forget what's really at stake here, what this is really about. You get control of the land, now you have control of the minerals and resources that come from said land.
Yes, Bones is absolutely correct. National parks are sacred places where a country's natural and cultural treasures are protected into perpetuity.
Doodle Vision says, I knew I like y'all for some reason. Could that be because we don't ignore what you're typing in the chat, Doodle Vision?
Interesting. This says, did you know that more than 15% of the U.S. land is designated as protected, an areas nearly twice the size of the U.S.?
Yeah. Huh. The reason why nobody can live there, why it's empty. There's not empty land in this country just to be empty. The whole population of the United States of America, every man, woman, and child right now living can fit in the state of Texas with room to spare.
Interesting. This says WWF works extensively in U.S. national parks, regions like the Badlands, where bison territory has been expanded to improve both the life of the prairie and the herds, maintaining and in some cases reviving our country's natural habitats can improve the lives of people in the surrounding area to the entire country.
Question: who replaced the Buffalo Soldiers as park rangers?
Was it Theodore Roosevelt?
Rough Riders, mount up.
Wow.
Even in TV and imagery, what did they portray the Rough Riders to be?
White boys.
Version of the Buffalo Soldiers coming in to protect the law, the marshals, protect the land.
This is interesting.
If you remove something, you must replace it with something. Again, if you remove something, you must replace it with something.
Yeah, that was something when I was in elementary school and junior high. That was one of the things that they taught us. If we uprooted a tree, we had to plant another tree. If we uprooted a plant, whatever, flower, whatever, we were taught in school, we had to replace it. I mean, I know that it's bigger. You're saying something bigger, but I just remember that.
Macro. I'm just saying. Macro.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Wow.
Because remember, the Buffalo Soldiers were all melanated.
Yep. Up until 1958.
Mm-hmm.
1958, they integrated them.
If you're going to get publicity and newspaper stuff, recognition, who going to get it in the mainstream? Think about it. A lot of these dudes didn't get their medals of honor until what? Clinton?
Yep.
More than 100 years after they did the actions that others got credit for.
Another way of whitewashing. Man, they just, no matter what role we take on, they always whitewash us out of it. Or they try to whitewash us out of it. Whitewash the Indian. Once you whitewash the Indian, then you whitewash the Buffalo Soldier. Now they whitewashing hip hop. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud? My bad. Their great-great-grandchildren had to get their medals. That's crazy. That's ridiculous.
Oh, it was easy for them to clear out the Buffalo Soldiers. You know how they did that? Go back and look at all them Western movies. There's a group of people that should be in every Western movie. But you notice? It's always the John Wayne character. Ain't no Buffalo Soldier in all the Western propaganda movies.
Nope.
They're just not making it just to be making it. These same movies dictate how you view the world, how you see people, how you react with people. Just learned behavior. So if that's all you're seeing, and that's the only thing that you learned about the Wild West, you grew up thinking what?
You grew up thinking what they want you to think. That we didn't contribute anything. Which makes it easier for us to accept the fact that we were slaves. We were brought here.
And then you ask yourself this: are you seeing the world how you see it, or are you seeing the world how you was programmed to see it?
That's why they call it TV programming. That's why they call it radio programming.
It's really interesting to look at the what is it called? Pin dots on a map. So I wanted to see the average size of a national park, what they've deemed as national parks. It equals out to approximately 52.2 million acres. And if you just look at pings on a pings on a map, it looks small.
Of course.
And when you look at where they're at and really map out 52.2 million acres, that's an extreme amount of land, especially if I go off of, okay, I know what 1 acre looks like. You get what I'm saying? Like,
yep, and normally up north, you can put 4 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom homes.
Let me put it in an image everybody should know.
There's 50
an image everybody should know. 1 acre is the size of a football field. end zone to end zone.
Yep.
Sideline to sideline. I'm talking about the part of the sideline where the player's sitting at. That's an acre.
Darn. That's kind of big.
They're like 43,000 feet. Rough, like 43,000 something feet is an acre.
Look, TMH.
What? What's up?
You see why Bones ain't playing?
But if you think about it, the fact. Hold on now.
What could you put on a football field?
Hello.
I'm on mute.
Hold on.
I'm gonna put this in the chat. Hold on. I'm putting.
Doodle Vision says outside the white lines on the field of the track. Hold on.
Yeah.
Wait.
Hold on.
Cobb, come back, Cobb.
Beloved, hold on.
Come back, Cobb. Get off me, Cobb. Check this out, Cobb. Listen. If you think about football, and James Doodle Vision, who I don't know, who always texts me, but I don't know him. I don't know who he is. If he texts me, he called me, but I don't know who he is. Yeah, he just called my phone, but I don't know who he is.
You got his number saved.
I got his number saved under Doodle Vision. But if you check out football, right? It's an acre of land, and they're fighting over this land, right? What's the goal? The goal is to score. What do you win? Not just a game, but you win that land, if you think about it, right?
Yeah, that's all football is. It's reenacting our story. Check this out, relatives. Our story. Get us to play it over as children for entertainment, and they getting paid off of it. Think about that now.
Billions.
Football, you fighting over land. Where's the football game played at? The line of scrimmage.
Mm-hmm.
All the flashy stuff, the receivers and the moves, that distracts you from what is programming you subconsciously.
Doodle Vision says, my alma mater figured out what to do with an acre. Look at We Over Me Farm. Baker Mayfield stuck his flag at midfield after Oklahoma won a game. That's right.
You really want to see it? Look in college. When they play for these trophies, they're playing for possession. Go back and look at these trophies when they playing for the axe. Are they playing for the spear? Are they playing for the canoe or the gator head? Look at the symbolism and the history, what this really represents.
It makes sense. I've been asking, why football look like a battlefield?
Teams. What's another name for team? Tribes.
Mm-hmm.
Tribes fighting it at, trying to get home field advantage, trying to get to the top of the hill.
Playoffs.
Playoffs? Talking about. You kidding me?
Doodle Vision says the Texas-Oklahoma game trophy used to be a revolver.
Now you know why they be laughing. Now you know when some of your elders and some other people be trying to tell you we have to stop financing our own destruction. I mean, really look at where we put our energy, where we put our finances at. I mean, really look at it. Think about it. What they always tell you. For romance story and fantasy based off a little bit of truth, they give you a little bit of truth and a whole bunch of fantasy to keep you entertained. And as long as you entertained, you're really not paying attention in reality what's happening. They're moving a line of scrimmage on you while you cheering. And before you notice, they being encroached all on your side of the field. It's too late, Dan.
Alright. Dude Vision said Bones is destroying those sucker MCs today. Yeah, he is. Whew. Okay, let me calm down.
Yeah, facts, Pamela. But the funny part about it is they might remake it and rewrite it. But we the ones that make it hot and don't realize it. Because we signed off on it. We have become the consumers. The worst position you could ever be in this system. Even listen to the name, consume.
And that's exactly what that turned our ancestors into, consumers. We went from being producers to consumers. Right, Big Nelson?
Think about it. We was 1.7, now we done jumped up to $2.3 trillion. But we using that to consume. There's no power in consumption. Where? That's an oxymoron. Where's leveraging power in consuming?
Joe 47 says they target our people for everything they sell. We are the engines that drive the train. Pun intended. What causes an engine to work? Consumption of fuel, right? Without consumption, the train don't go. Dudovision says consume equals to be engulfed in flames.
The burning house that King was talking about. Facts. A lot of people seen the documentary How to Sell to a Negro, making sure we were consumers, because this is the one thing that they realized. Transform us into a consumer class, and they will always have wealth, because you know why? We're going to go out and maintain these jobs to reach this status that somebody else set for us, that we have to have the latest TV. We've got to have the latest car. We've got to have the latest phone. They don't even have to make a commercial for us because they know we finna run and go get it.
Yeah, Black Friday was targeted at us.
Yeah, they know we not the least. They count on us not paying attention. They count on us being shattered, not taking the time out to do genealogy, to find out who we are, to find out who you tie back to find out what's your part in this story. Everybody has a part to play. And if everybody does their part, we all meet in the end with everything straightened up. But you have to start with yourself. You got to start at home. That's why genealogy, again, is very important.
Big Hawk says, so what's the history behind Black Friday? Think about it. The gap between Thanksgiving and December and Christmas Day is almost a month exactly, right?
Yep.
What they started finding out, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, is that people started being a little bit more wise with their shopping. and they started doing their shopping throughout the year. So a lot of retail stores is losing money. I mean, retail stores have been losing money for like 10 years. So they had to come up with a way to get those dollars back. So they came up with Black Friday. Just deeply discounting everything. When they was only deeply discounting stuff they was gonna get rid of anyway.
Yeah, basically, if you trace it back, it started as the problem was with employment. The day after Thanksgiving was the highest day people wasn't showing up. The work wasn't calling in. So as time went on, a marketing scheme found out how they can profit from this. And like TMA said, they used it to drive consumerism. If you go back and you look, it starts in Philadelphia with the police department, knowing that they had to have special units out on this day of shopping. It's a consumer ploy to get you to spend your money. And then they'll tell you all these other emotional stories. No, actually check the sources and look back to see where it go to. It go back to companies.
So Big Hawk, when you say it's nothing to do with slavery, what is slavery? Slavery is indentured servitude, getting people to work. And when you're not working, you're supposed to be spending money.
Yep.
And when you're not spending money, you're supposed to be working so you can save up enough money to spend. Big Nelson says, what is a freaka? I bite. What is a freaka? Because we know it ain't Africa. Anyway. Sometimes the chat conversations are better than what I'm reading.
Sometimes in slavery in Africa, that's people that, just like anything, you can always toss some things in. No. Black Friday was always known as something bad when it came to marketing, when it came to situations dealing with politics and finances. And it was just a way for them to turn it around and try to rebrand it. You can even see where they tried to name it Big Friday at times and didn't catch. So they just found a way to brand it to make it stick. It's nothing but a marketing ploy.
Ooh, Dude Fisher says, a freaka is a loose female in Atlanta, LOL. And you want to know something? I know somebody with the name Africa with the L in between the A and the F. I'll leave it at that. It's all about commerce. It's always been about commerce. It's always been about how to get us to work so they can get paid, so they can get control of resources, and so we can continue to be their indentured servants. See, the only reason people work is because they got debt. The only reason people are in debt because they purchase things they don't need. They just purchase things they want. So there's always a ploy to keep you in debt. If you think about our ancestors, they didn't have to work hard because they didn't need anything. If you already have food, clothing, and shelter, what do you need? You don't need anything else, right?
Yep.
But if I make you pay for food, clothing, and shelter, then I'm the person that you become dependent on, and I'm the person that ends up being a voluntary slave because I'm working for you now, so that I can earn money, so that I can buy those things that I need, and then then I deserve to not only have a house, I deserve to have a bigger house. I not only deserve to have a car, I deserve to have a better car. I not only deserve to, go to restaurants, I deserve to go to the best restaurants. So, consumerism is what drives this country. We are the engines that drive America.
Hold on, TMH. Even we can rewind back a couple of hundred-some years, even before the time period we're reading from. Didn't they have ads over in Europe offering for people to come over here? Some of them to come over here to get new land, set up industries, bring their businesses.
Yep.
Even now, the immigrants that they do invite in the country, don't they tell them bring their businesses and stuff? Same thing, right?
Yep.
Ain't nothing changed.
Except for the money that they're using is money that belongs to us. HUD Section 3. That's why those businesses are set up in your communities. Go out and drive into those white communities and see if they have any stores near those communities. Those communities don't have any roads running through them. They don't have any interstates right off of their community. You got to go find those communities. Those communities are not close by. They're not off the interstate. They don't have major stores near them. They are far away from consumerism. They're like isolated. They are your true suburbs. You ever notice how our suburbs are engulfed with retail department stores and things of that nature?
They even label ours different. Urban goes in front of ours.
Yep. Yeah, go see about setting up a business in a totally European community and see how much kickback you gonna get.
Kickback? You ain't getting close enough to even cock your leg.
Because they ain't all around their breakdance. Exactly. So why is it? Now you do realize that when they want you to move out there, what will they do? They will start putting those stores out there. That's how you can tell the demographics change. Do the business. He says, also, have you noticed those in our conscious community opposed to HUD Section 3 are broke?
Dude, they telling you don't use it. It's this, it's that, a scam, fraudulent. But don't have a penny to show for it. Like we said before, you can easily type in HUD Section 3 on YouTube and you will see governmental videos talking about HUD Section 3 and what it's supposed to do and what it's designed for. I mean, come on.
Oh, but hold on, Bones, hold on. Because that's us asking for a handout, says one YouTube channel professor. I'm going to call him professor because he's a professor, he knows shit. Excuse my language. HUD Section 3 is asking for... No, let me finish because it's coming from the government. Not understanding business because the same business owner, the same person that says that we're not going to, we don't believe in 501c, but we do believe in... Okay, so I'm gonna put this out here like this. The views of TMH, aka Thomas Harrelson, are not those of a Titanist Assembly. So wait for it. You're gonna tell the community that you're supposed to be working with that you don't believe in 501c's, but then you're gonna point to the Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree is actually a corporate entity that's for profit that is on the NASDAQ and stock exchange. But you're using the Dollar Tree's setup. But you don't believe in the 501c3. So a little education. The only difference between a 501c and a corporation is a 501c is a corporation that has a tax exempt status. That's the only difference. I'm going to say this again for all the people in cheap seats. The only difference between a 501c and a for-profit entity is that a 501c is a for-profit entity with a tax exempt status, which means you have to register your for-profit entity before you can register for tax exempt status. I'm going to say that again. You don't have to believe me. Go do your research. In order to have a 501c, you have to register your for-profit entity with the state first. Once you do that, then you can file for your tax exempt status. That's the only difference between a 501c and a for-profit entity. One is a tax exempt entity and the other is not. One gets tax breaks, and one does not. To make it even more simple, one is an Indian tax and one is not. I'm gonna say it again.
The 501c's are not the IRS. Matter of fact, the next melanated person that tried to tell y'all that, and they wearing the Martin Luther King shirt, or reciting something he said. You know what? We don't have. Never mind. I digress.
Hold on. HUD
Yeah,
section.
don't get hit with the $5, Buster.
Hold on. Someone said that. Someone tried to tell you that a 501c and a HUD were the IRS. What does that mean?
What is it?
No. Seriously. What does that mean? Because okay, y'all know me. Y'all know how I do. I'm gonna ask you questions because you might have a point. So I need you to educate me when you say HUD Section 3 and 501c were IRS. What does that mean? Because IRS is nothing more than an acronym. Because IRS can mean I'm really serious, I'm really stupid. It also can stand for the Internal Revenue Service. So when you say IRS, what do you mean?
It's the Fed.
It can also stand for I really suck. I mean, so what is IRS? See, we relatives, we have to get a little bit more savvy when we listen to people say things. So when someone says they are the IRS, what do they mean by the IRS? You got to ask questions.
Igloo Reservation Services in the last.
I mean, it could be. If you type in IRS and you scroll to page 30 on Google, you're going to get a company whose initials are IRS. So when someone says they're IRS, what does that mean? Who is the IRS? And the next question you need to ask them is, can you prove it? Remember, proof is not a problem with this platform. But for other platforms, they don't show proof.
I ran straight.
Again, IRS. You know, or it can stand for now we can be phonetically. Now we can be phonetically. IRS can stand for I rest my case. How about that?
And you know what's sad? Seriously, what's really sad about this is that when we are sharing this information with the relatives and coming together to see what we can do in our individual communities to better our situations, people have things to say, try to slander. But it amazes me why they're not going to Walmart, who use the same thing to put it up in our community. Why they're not going to the NFL to question them about using it to build stadiums in our communities? Why they're not going to the immigration and asking them why they're giving it to everybody else who comes in this country to build in our community? No. You rather talk about the ones in the community that's trying to show the people that these programs are here, how to access it, and how to move forward.
Ooh.
Relatives, if that don't tell you what's really going on, the same people not going to go after The major corporations that's in our neighborhoods. They want to come. They want to talk about the ones that's trying to inform you on how we can use this to rebuild our communities.
Oh, I got it. IRS stands for I'm really scared, ... of white people.
Themselves?
What?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, they're really scared of white people.
So, and I could be wrong if I could say this. I think what that statement is saying is some people are saying that 501c3s or 501cs and HUD Section 3 are IRS and not taking in consideration that however they establish their entity, they still go through the IRS to do so. So it wouldn't keep them from it's what they tell them.
We can clear it up right now. Autonomous Assembly is a legal non-for-profit organization, and I did not have to ask the IRS for no permission to do this. No sellout. You had to call the IRS?
Hey.
TMH, you had to call the IRS?
That's why I just said illegitimate rabbit system. I don't even know what IRS stand for.
No, I'm not
That's
saying
not
that.
true.
I'm not saying that.
No, I'm not. I wasn't answering you. I was answering out to whoever out there is spreading this foolishness.
Ooh, okay. I was about to go back on mute.
I got it. I got it. IRS. I'm ratchet and sorry.
Oh.
Hey, not to be confused. I got a ratchet. Sorry. Just blocking folks. Get out of here.
Yeah. How about it? You got a problem? Call. The number work.
Oh yeah, it's up there.
You got 1-669-900-6833. Meeting ID 267-930-0444 pound. Don't forget the pound.
976 doo-doo.
Or could it be once you as the individual learn that these things exist in your community, you have self-empowerment to activate in your community to make change, that you don't have to wait for somebody on no platform or some self-proclaimed person to be like, this is the way. Could that be the problem? Could it be that stops PayPals and Patreons and pamphlets and all these secret keys? Come on, man.
Hold on. There is
now available.
There is over 24 hours of audio and video of these individuals that are trashing 501cs and everything that we were talking about, literally begging Bounce to implement what we implemented with Autonomous Assembly. Some of it has video, but most of it has audio. So there's names, email addresses, where they're located, all that. It's on Autonomous Assembly at Ain't TV. So if you're wondering what we're talking about, and anybody out there that's watching it that want to look at it, you can look at it. You don't have to register to look at it. So you can go look at it, because everything we say, we got receipts. When we say we got receipts, we weren't playing. 24 hours of proof, partner. And it stipulates, and it's in the chat on the recording that says we were recording. So it wasn't something that people didn't know and were not aware of. They were part of the recording. They knew it was being recorded, and they spoke what they said. And if you listen to that recording, you'll see that there are certain people, like myself, Bounce, and others, who have been saying the same thing since that recording started and haven't changed anything that we said. Now, what you will hear is people pitching products that positively won't pass. Getting shot down. Don't make any sense. People promoting powwows. You know, paper products.
Now that makes when it don't work. Powwow.
Someone say powwow.
Yeah. You know,
I heard it.
Giving land. Some mystery. Hold on. I gotta do this. Hold on. Wait. Somebody on that platform was given acres of land in Texas back in January. And a council was supposed to be produced. Now they got it.
Man.
So here's my question.
I remember that.
Here's my question. Where is the land and where is the council? I'll wait. Because you're on record saying that you got land. You on record saying all you had to do was put together a council. Y'all do have a council now, right? So where is the land? Come on, spill it. And I don't want you to tell me because I'm gonna go take the land because I don't want the land. You have nothing I want. I promise you that. But you still contacting me. You still send your people to contact me because y'all want somebody to do y'all bylaws. When all you have to do, and I'm gonna say this for people in cheap seats. When all you have to do is download the NFL Constitution and bylaws. All you gotta do is download the NFL Constitution and bylaws and you will be set up. Because all you gotta do is use that template and you'll be good to go. That's all. It's not hard. Now it's 292 pages. Now I don't know if you're literate enough to read it or get the information out of it, but it's there. And I'm sure people in the chat have downloaded the Constitution and bylaws and seen it. So it's not something I made up. We've actually posted that link at least 4 to 5 times. It's free information. It's not private information. Anybody can download it. Just go to Google or whatever platform you choose to use and type in NFL Constitution and or ampersand bylaws, BYLAWS, and hit enter. Go ahead.
Can you look that up for me? Because I don't use Google.
You could use Bing, you could use Bling, you can use Sting, Sing, or Ring. It don't matter.
I got a question. If you ask somebody to Google something, is that you using Google or no?
Not directly.
Oh man. Okay. I don't like that answer, but still whack. And you can Google that.
So I mean, at the end of the day, people aren't. Here's the thing I find interesting. People will put stuff in the chat or people will say something, and the people in the chat will eat it up, and no one asks for proof. They just take what that person says at face value. That makes them. How are you just gonna take somebody's? What are you gonna take what they say at face value for? When we live in a society where everything has to be proven.
But hold on. I'll give you one better.
What's up? What you got?
Because like Sesame Street, says today's program is being brought to you by dealing with the Rough Riders and Teddy Bear, aka Teddy Jam, aka Teddy Graham. In case y'all didn't know. And he was going around, right? Because his deal is the national parks. Now, if someone wants to have a powwow and you really want to get back to nature, go ahead and go to one of these national parks and start your own little bonfire if you want to and see what happens to you. Because national parks, 501c3.
Man down.
That is a non-profit 501c3. So you go ahead and see what happens to you because only you can prevent forest fires. Go ahead and start that fire if you want to and see what happens to you out there at the powwow. I'm out this cotton picking mic.
Wait. Are you referring to
Martin from Tommy Hearns? Remember Martin when he fought Tommy? I don't fight no boat. I don't fight no.
The national parks, that is a 501c3 nonprofit organization.
Yep, and they've been privately owned and established since 1879.
So you go on out there and start a fire if you want to. Go ahead, knock yourself out. Throw one cigarette butt out and see what happens to you. Knock yourself out.
Shout out to Timbo.
So, I mean, you know, it is what it is. So this is my challenge to the chat. Make these people prove what they're saying. Because now the narrative is that people are coming over to other people's platforms to get information. When in actuality, we never went to that platform to get information. Y'all came to us to get information. We got the receipts. You just got taught. I'm just saying, we got the receipts. Where your receipts at? Anybody? Visual and audio. And the voices match the voices that you hear on your favorite YouTube channels, boys and girls. See, here's the thing.
For those who,
go ahead, Bones.
For those who would like to try to spin the narrative on, it's about who said what first. No. It's about what's right for the people. It's about one group wanting to make sure that the people have access so they can better their situations, and the others trying to find schemes and mechanisms to get paid off the back of the people. That's what this is about.
Yeah. Something to think about. So for those of you who are trying to follow the format of Dollar Tree, which is a corporation that is taxed, you, sir, madam, are trying to be a corporation that it's going to be very hard, first of all, for you to operate internationally. And it doesn't matter whether somebody's in a report or not, because you need certifications and license. Just because I'm near a port, that don't mean I can access that port. Because that port is private property. So, being international does not mean having people of multi-ethnic groups in your family. Being international means you have corporations in other countries.
And you know what's really silly?
What's that?
These individuals that'll tell you all this stuff about the government, 501Cs and businesses, and don't do that, and independent, but they still want money though.
I didn't hear that. Could you repeat that, please?
These same individuals that'll tell you the government ain't this and you can do this, you don't have to listen, and it's about taking this back and taking that back. These same individuals still want money.
Oh, you talking about money? You talking about the money that
money, cash, green.
Washington, American dollars, like USD.
I want money, lots of money. I want the pie in the sky. I want to be rich.
I got a question. Where are they gonna spend that at if they don't like the government? What, they gonna burn it? I mean, I don't know. What do they do with it? They sleep under it?
Man, that's the character. And then the people out in the audience buy in and finance it, and they the ones who get jammed up. These individuals want the big house, they want the car, they want to live like the European. Come on.
The song's gonna be stuck in my head now.
Hold on, Macadon said, yo, for real? Yo. Okay, Mac. Hope everything all right. Hit us up if you need something, bro. Maybe we can help. That's crazy.
What happened?
You just read the chat, because I don't want to, I ain't trying to put nobody business out there in the streets. Yeah, reach out to us if there's anything we can do. But at the end of the day, man, this is what it's about. It's about getting it right. I'm not selling any information. I'm not trying to get paid off of anybody. I have my means to get paid. So I don't need the community to pay me to do what I do for the community. I donate my time. I donate my services. We donate our time. We donate our services. There is no PayPal account attached to what we do. There is none of that. We're independent.
There is a Patreon.
We are independent. We are a nonprofit organization that doesn't ask for any assistance. We haven't asked anybody for one red cent to build a website. For the app. The app don't cost anything, does it? I don't know. Did anybody get charged to download the app? No? Okay.
I did.
You got charged for the app?
Yeah.
She logged on to patreon.com.
I just got charged a couple of seconds of my life.
Oh, just so time. Okay.
Oh, she paid attention. I see. I got it. I understand. The attention was at
Double
the
cousin
show.
be
Pay
paying
attention.
attention.
Okay, so all you had to do was pay attention to cost a little bit of time. Outside of that, nothing financial. Okay. Okay, I'm just checking because I know
Just my charger, my light bill.
Okay. And you paying that anyway, right?
She's like, before the cab, I won't pay no light bill. I don't know what this is. My guy got a free app, and what is this? Got to pay my phone bill now? What is this mess? Pardon me, ma'am. Think you got your priorities mixed up. That ain't how you do that.
I mean, it's laughing, but it's not a joke, but it's laughable because it's crazy how people do stuff, man. It's, again, okay, I said I won't gonna do it. Woo!
Do it.
I said I won't go do it. I won't. You know me. I'm good for sending out invitations. I'm good for sending out invitations.
You can come see me.
Oh, speaking of come seeing somebody came to see somebody in Vegas, right? They didn't show up, right? They didn't respond. Y'all see that?
Oh, yeah.
So, somebody got visited in Vegas. A chief got visited in Vegas, and he disappeared.
Oh yeah, this disappeared.
Yeah, he got visited in Vegas.
He was probably out of town.
No, he went to a Magic. He went to the David Blaine show.
Chief in Vegas got visited.
Yeah, he was one of the contestants that got disappeared.
Now, for the record, it was not me. I was not in Vegas this past weekend. I was still
No.
Yeah, there was nobody associated with a Tactonus assembly. But to be special
it was
guests.
for entertainment purposes only. It was also not education based at all.
Well, somebody came to see a chief in Vegas, and that chief
Yes, they're trying to meet the tribe and everything.
didn't respond. I would love to see a video of that chief's response, just to see what kind of excuse that's going to be presented. Anyway.
Look,
Upside the head.
So it sounds like, and also too, it sounds like a lot of stuff is coming out of the woodwork. We got people coming back from all types of platforms now. Everybody's showing up. It's that time of the year. Tis the season to be jolly. Fa la 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 la. Get hit upside the head with wood made of holly. Fa la 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 la. I'm sorry. Next. This has been a very interesting day, I say. That's right, Macadon one. See, Michael. See, you know what, Michael? I'm gonna give you the acronym or the abbreviation MHBC instead of MSNBC. I'm gonna call you MHBC for Michael Harris Brown Cheek. And he says I had an Obama phone, and I had to buy a real phone to get the app. Yeah. All right.
Shout out to the upgrade.
Yeah. Everybody good? Everybody good?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
What?
Wait a minute.
Uh-oh.
Now, he said he had an Obama phone. He had to get a real phone to download the app. Now, if you call the Zoom number and you have an Obama phone, does it still work?
Almost definitely. You can have a phone with no service, and as long as you got Wi-Fi, you can call the Zoom line. I'm just
checking because some people saying they had problems like calling into the number. So Obama phone, somebody still got an Obama phone out there. Call the number and just say, "Hey, it's me," and then you can hang up.
But I must warn you, once you call in, there's going to be a delay. So just got to give it a minute. Because we're going to see you pop up. You're not going to be able to hear us. And then once the phone system recognizes you, then you'll be able to unmute yourself by hitting *6. Just so you know. So you dial in, hit the code with pound, shout us out, and you wait a second, and then you'll be able to talk. Powellton 9 says they're scared. Go ahead, Gabby.
Well, okay, so when you say Obama phone, and I'm really not trying to be funny because I hear it a lot, and I'm not sure if what I'm hearing is right or if I'm interpreting right. When you say Obama phone, you're referring to either you're making a joke about it and saying that your phone is from a government-assisted program, or your phone is from getting some type of assistance, right? Or no?
It's a phone program. It's a program for the underprivileged so they can have a phone. It's called the hold on, I can pull it up for you.
But I thought that those phones came with some whatever a type of assistance that you're getting, if that makes sense.
You messed up the parody, but that's okay.
No. I'm just trying to figure out if this dude is saying he's got an Obama phone, what's going on?
That was a joke.
Okay.
That's a joke.
Office when they pass a digital act to give everyone access to digital television and digital phones.
Okay. I apologize.
It's part of the Federal Communications Commission. Says the original Lifeline free government cell phone program pays service providers a subsidiary of $9.25 per month for phone service. Clever cell phone companies figured out how to offer cell phone service for free by using that subsidy to fund their entire operations. They even fleece a government program. It's a program that you can get a phone for like basically $10 a month.
And if you look behind it, designed by USDA grant for communications for low income or people that's considered underprivileged. Basically a nonprofit, helping a nonprofit.
Mm-hmm. But those programs don't really work. They don't really work.
So how these people got all these phones out here then?
Well, see, the problem is, in order to get those programs, you have to use your real information.
Interesting.
You know, you got to use your real information. You know, only people I know that got burner phones are, you know, people that, you know, sell unlicensed pharmaceuticals.
Now, TMH.
What? I said unlicensed pharmaceuticals. What? What I missed? What happened? What we doing? They're unlicensed and unregistered pharmaceutical companies. I mean, I'm just calling it what it is. Because you do have licensed, right, and registered pharmaceutical companies, right? Don't you? Don't we? I mean, you don't? We don't? Am I missing something? No. Okay, just check. I'm just, you know. So we good? Make sure y'all go to the Tonsis Assembly /Ain't TV and watch them videos. Stay in the forum, stay in the chat, share information. You know, help each other with your genealogy, man. Stop playing. Let's get this done. You know, people call in and ask how they can help. Y'all can help people if you know how to do your genealogy. Help people with their genealogy. You know, and go in the forum. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. You could. Go ahead. You got it.
I was just going to say that's the best 13 hours I spent on a Saturday since I watched the Planet of the Apes telethon. Come on, son. I was enlightened, inspired. Oh man. That's all I gotta say. And the next time you try to send somebody and you're not giving that person proper information, you better look out, because I done told you. Doodoo's back. Doodoo is back. I told y'all before, and I'll tell you again. And I'm gonna put it out there because I know it's some that are going back and forth. I know that they'll listen to the rebroadcast. I was never a part of Trib Up. So when you send somebody to do your dirty work, make sure you give them all the information. Because I already knew it would scam you. I just didn't say anything. You'll find my voice on one of those conference calls, and I wasn't even on the call. I was in a back chat and just said, howdy do. And that was it. I let everybody, like my grandmother taught me, let them figure it out for themselves. I'd already dealt with those characters. So the next time you send somebody to do your dirty work, I'm coming for you. I yield the mic.
Dang.
Oh man.
So, cousin, why did you say that? Because Jodeci's "My Eyes Still Cry" started playing in my mind.
Oh yeah.
Always stop.
Okay. Now this is not an episode of putting on the hits. So let's stop it.
I don't even know what that is.
Or what's another 80s? What's another 80s show? Solid Gold. This is not Solid Gold. Solid Gold.
I can't help it.
So also too, for those that are listening, because we know y'all are listening, we got more receipts. That's just the beginning. And like I told y'all, for those of you that were neutral and on the fence, we still got your receipts too. We still got your receipts. We still got your emails asking for help, asking how to what's that Bones? How to buy views, how to buy subscriptions. You still got those emails, don't you?
Hey, you can't even buy views. YouTube will shut your channel down.
You still got them emails, don't you, Bones?
Hey, what this song just?
Okay, so So this just
No,
know.
no. Wait a minute.
What's that,
Wait
Teddy
a
Riley
minute.
song?
Wait. No, y'all. Wait a minute. Hold the phone.
Right.
I mean, hold the Obama phone. Hold the phone. Now you gonna tell me you have receipts of people coming to you, but they telling the whole world you an agent, but they coming to you to get information to get their business established, but you're the fraud.
So
Just loyal.
I'm gonna make it easy for them. All they gotta do is listen to the tapes. The voice is there.
Listen to the tapes.
So to make it plain, they're not coming to me because I know nothing. YouTube and views, that ain't my thing. You can go on my page and know I ain't about no views.
No, wait a minute.
No,
I'm
you
just
can't
saying,
even find
I'm
views.
saying when I say you, let me
I know.
The bylaws.
Yeah.
It's you is A2 as the corporation, which would now be known as you. So
okay.
they're coming to you
Yeah.
and saying, "Can you help me establish my business?" You got them. I heard recordings of people saying, "I've done several businesses," and then they say you're the agent. But I'm trying to figure out if you're the agent, right? Because they talking about stuff, IRS and all that stuff. You're an agent.
Mm-hmm.
Why are they coming to an agent to get information to establish their business?
Mm-hmm. That's a good question.
I'm a little slow. I'm trying to figure that out. I'm trying to catch up here. You know, I'm really trying to catch up. You know, between Brother No Sellouts meetings that he's got me going to and listening to the 13 hours, because I'm rewinding and remixing it, and I'm like, man. But they got stuff established, but they coming to you to buy views, to get bylaws established, to see how they can rob people out of their land. But they're like, oh man, the land, can I just get the land? I don't know, question that, can I just get the land?
Some people.
And you're still using PayPal and Patreon to come up, but you a businessman. Man, I gotta go. Okay, let me, I gotta process.
So I'll tell you one even better. Since I'm gonna hit you with a cliffhanger. There is actually one individual who reached out to a chief of another individual and wanted access to the rolls so they could sell it. Sell the rolls to the people.
Do what now?
And these two individuals stay in each other's chat.
Wait a minute. Are you
talking about the Indian rolls?
Yeah, because every tribe has an Indian roll.
Yeah, we ain't talking about no cinnamon rolls.
No, he's not talking. He can't be talking about the Indian roll. You talking about the Hawaiian rolls?
Yeah, he talking about that good hot cinnamon.
You're not talking about Cracker Barrel rolls. We're talking about her.
Yeah, man, you can't hate if somebody trying to flip the best rolls in the country now. You can't do it. They're just trying to make
one organization wanted access to all of the tribal rolls so they can charge people to do their genealogy.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut anybody off, but man, you playing. Stop playing, man. Stop playing.
I'm damn serious. I don't play.
Oh, it's on the tape. It's on there.
You weren't supposed to tell him that.
Oh wow, he said it's on the tape. See? Look, he ain't telling you the medium of which it
I
was.
don't want. Hey, I don't even want the relatives to be on the edge of their seat. I'm letting them know. Hey,
it's on the tape.
It is there. Listen, get you some popcorn. Pull up a chair. If you really want to know who's who, just pull up a chair. If you got some time,
you're gonna find out who's playing what on TV.
It will help you have a better understanding on what's really going on this internet, so-called internet indigenous community.
The internet.
What sides people playing and what's really at stake. We might laugh and joke a lot because that's how we brush it off. But if you take the time to watch it, you listen. If you questioning who's who after that, I had no business talking to you.
Real talk. Because at the end of the day, again, like I said, there's an audio recording, Nature's Void. It's on 8 televisions. You've probably heard us say that, we got receipts And a lot of people talk when they say they got receipts, they never release the receipts. As in my best Doodle Vision voice, which is not even close to, we released the Kraken.
Oh, you got to put a little more.
No, I'm just gonna say it like that. I'm gonna let the audio hit you with the he and the her and the we. But we released the Kraken, and it's very incriminating for all those that act like they don't know what happened, trying to figure out what happened. People are, people's names are in there. I mean, and they knew that it was being recorded. So. Golden Moon says when the movie starts. It's on demand. There are
on demand.
There are 8 videos, averaging 4 hours apiece.
Popcorn.
Governance calls. I got them labeled, and you can be able to tell by the timestamp on them. Starting from November of 2018 to I think February of 2019.
Yep.
Wait, and there's
November now we're here.
You mean you're not charging anything like Amazon Prime or
No. I mean, all you gotta do is register, and we don't sell your information. So I mean,
Oh, he said we won't sell your information.
We don't. We don't sell your information, and we won't.
Don't even collect it. You get the app. The app don't ask for no permissions, none whatsoever.
Yeah. So if you want to know what's really going on, if you really want to know to get to, as they say down south, the T, whatever it is, all on the website. Yeah, Nature's Void. That's what we've been saying. That's what we've been saying for the past week. Yeah, bro. We ain't, again, when I say proof is not a problem, that is not hyperbole.
And that is hyperbole.
Yeah, we say transparency. We built this to help the people. This is transparent as you can get.
Yeah, I'm with
and
you.
all the meetings that led up to what is here today are ain't.
And you'll hear how it all evolved. You'll see everything from concept to it being concrete.
Ain't nobody said like you, Pop.
And this is information, and if you can see, the beautiful thing about it is you see the email addresses. Everybody got a copy of these videos. Everybody that was on the call got a copy of this information. So when people act like they don't know what happened, they lying.
Y'all must have forgot.
Ice Cold didn't do it.
Yeah, with the Roy Jones.
So yeah, I mean, yeah. So when we say we release, look, man, people gotta understand. Some people play Indians on TV. Some people play Indians on YouTube. We real
Some
Indians.
People play robots on YouTube.
We real Indians. We about this stuff for real. We in the community and we doing real stuff. So this ain't no. This ain't no.
Look at it like this.
What's up?
Think about it like this. Instead of looking at it as some people play Indian, some people aren't, I mean, it's the same thing. It's just played out in a different way. It's the same history or past. It's just being played out in a different way, if that makes sense.
No, I mean, don't even sugarcoat it. Everybody not an Indian. Let's keep it 100. Everybody not Indian.
And that's
Some
okay.
people playing the sides they supposed to. Some people playing the sides they supposed to play because make no mistake about it, everybody is not an Indian.
Nope.
Right. But I'm talking about in the aspect of the chaos and deceptiveness, and
That's what I'm talking about. Some of these people that's in the chaos ain't Indians. Just because you look like me don't mean you an Indian. Did you do your genealogy? Who do you tie back? I'm keeping it 100. No disrespect about anything.
Right.
But how can you have a person telling you about being an American Indian and they're not even attempting to do genealogy?
And they Nigerian. Come on, son.
Yeah.
You know about them Nigerian email scam. Come on, son.
And also too.
I mean, if we're going to say this is for our future,
right.
and our future is on the line, when do we stop playing? When do we take it serious?
Yeah.
When do we get to the point where we're like, hold on, man, this is our children's lives on the line. So we got to make sure we vet anything and everything.
Right.
So when people get upset because we were saying based off of history that the term Moor was a derogatory term. I never called a Moorish person a derogatory term, or I never just intentionally, because things happen unintentionally. I never intentionally meant to be derogatory, but at the end of the day, we're pointing out how none of the names that we're using are real names. We even point out that the Toxins Assembly is a French name.
Right.
So we're not saying that every name is, everybody else's name is a pet name in ours. We just telling the truth. So when people get upset because we telling the truth, I mean, don't get mad at me. I'm not an Ottoman. I don't claim to be an Ottoman. I didn't put the Berbers in captivity in 700 AD. That wasn't me. I didn't name them Moors. That wasn't me. So when you 700 AD.
Okay.
So when we start putting this information out and it's factual and it's verified and it's solidified and it's archived, don't get mad at me because you want to use the term Moor. Use the term Moor and be proud of that, but don't sit there and act like it's a real term. It's a term that they call themselves because they didn't. Just like autochthonous is not the original name. It's a French word. And to be honest, full disclosure, it would take way too much problems. It'd be way too much trouble to change the term for business purposes, for business practices. Keep it like it is and keep it moving. But we letting y'all know that's not an indigenous, that is not a term that our ancestors call themselves. But we gonna keep it real. We ain't got nothing to hide over here. I like what the term means. The term is representative of what we do, but we do understand and accept that is not an original term. So not only we telling the truth on ourselves, we tell the truth on everybody. And the reason why I say that is because of this. When people start saying that they are a certain tribe because of where they're at in their studies, all I'm asking you to do is don't just say you from Virginia. Tell me where in Virginia you from. What county? What street? Because you say I'm Aniawea or I'm Cherokee. That's a tribe. What clan are you with? What county your people from? Because here's the thing, and this is what people don't want you to know. The moment you tell me your clan and your tribe and your county, people that do genealogy can tell whether you're telling the truth or not. Because here's one thing here's one thing that tribes know. They not only know their genealogy, they know all the surrounding tribes' genealogy. Why do you think Do Division knows so much about tribes, especially tribes in the Southeast? Think about it. The elders that he get his information from, that stuff is written. How many times has he told us in numerous ways to go to Chichen Itza? How many times has he told us that? He tells us that at least once a week. At least once a week. You think he say that because they giving him kickbacks or he advertising for Chichen Itza? You think that's why he do it? He does it because he knows. And any tribe that does genealogy or has a genealogist knows who you are based off of your last name. That's the reason why these YouTube Indians won't tell you their last name. That's why they'll say stuff like, I'm Cherokee, I'm Aniawea, I'm Choctaw, I'm Chickasaw. Man, you know how many tribes are up under that? Do you know how many clans are up under that? A lot. Hundreds, if not thousands. Again, that's like telling me you from Virginia. And then I go, well, where you from? Because I need to know, you could be from Virginia and be 30 minutes outside of Tennessee. You ain't nowhere near me, but you still in Virginia. See how that work? You in the southwest part of Virginia. Go ahead, James.
I'm sorry, I was just gonna say that eventually, if you come across some people that say they know your people, you keep mentioning names, you're going to find somebody that you have in common. That's why these people don't want to give out. And it's not even putting the information out publicly. It's saying within a group. How do you want me to go into business with you, become a business partner with you, and I know nothing about you and you know nothing about me? Who does that? Who does that? Who has not been vetted? Who does that? I mean, are we still I guess we are, because people still donating to PayPal and Patreon and not getting any results. So eventually, you're going to start coming across these people. Eventually, you're going to start coming across, okay, if these are the tribes and these are your folk, then why do you act the way you act? And why aren't your elders checking you?
Mm.
Why are you selling chicken dinners? In the form of I'm gonna promise to put out a video or a documentary, but you gotta pay for it to see it. And then I'm gonna come up 2 months later, come up with another excuse, but you still gotta keep paying to see this video or documentary that never comes out. Or because at least, I'm gonna say this, at least when Spike Lee did what he did, he said, I wanna finance my own movie and you help me do it. He did make the movie. I'm out this goddamn picking mic.
So the reason why there's a problem with us, when I say us, I'm talking about the Toxins Assembly, is because at the end of the day, not only do we have the bones, we know where the bones are buried. I'm sorry, I had to say that, bones. Bounce. We know where the bones are buried. You may have the bones, but we got bones. And at the end of the day, we got receipts on all y'all. And here's another thing I want the chat to understand. And again, I must say this because I'm always going to be fair if nothing else. Everybody makes mistakes. We all are guilty of doing something wrong at some particular time in our lives, whether intentionally or unintentionally. Okay? So, as far as atrocities and, doing wrong, I've done my share of dirt. I've done my share of wrong things, so I by no means claim to be perfect. So with that being said, people that are now coming out and talking about exposing scammers, these were the scammers that you were associated with, and the only reason you're saying something about them now is because you got scammed. So are you blowing a whistle on them because they're scammers, or are you blowing a whistle on them because they scammed you?
If you could have seen the look on my face just now.
Because at the end of the day, you knew they were scammers when you was rolling with them. But because they scammed you now and only now, this is a problem. And you're on video talking about it. So you were warned. You knew about them. And you followed them anyway. So because you got bit by the snake, now all of a sudden you want to call them a snake now. Now all of a sudden you want to drop names. I'm just saying. It is what it is. So, this is what I will always say. When you do wrong, admit you're wrong, and correct it. And that's all we've ever asked for people to do. If you do wrong, admit you're wrong, and correct it. But for some reason, people want to continue to say they ain't done nothing wrong. And they want to put it off on us. That's why we had to release the tapes. That's why we had to release the Kraken. And that's why it's been silent ever since. Because again, like I said, not only were the scammers exposed, but who else is exposed are the individuals that were neutral, and they go on those scammers' platform and big them up. knowing that they scammers. They came to Bones too. You got emails, we got your emails too. That's why you ain't released nothing. Some of y'all done done some dirt that's unforgivable in the community. And you just hoping that it don't get released. All I'm gonna say about you is this. If you claim and sue, and you know what to do, if I were you, I'd stay away from A2. We gonna leave it at that.
Oh, that rhymed.
And we put that on wax. Wait a minute, I have a question for y'all. With all of this tape, it's not gonna be 18 and a half minutes of missing audio, is it? Like Richard Nixon, Tricky Dicky.
What you mean missing? What you mean missing audio?
You're like 18 and a half minutes of that audio that's missing on Richard Nixon when he got busted.
Nothing is edited. No, nothing's edited. And just so people, just so you know you got your hackers and you want to get that removed, I got at least 50 backups. So you mess with me, I'll release it on the news. Don't play. What you already released, I got it. And the only way you gonna come get it is come and see me, Greco-Roman wrestling man. What's going on here? Ugandan giant, wanna wrestle? That is the only way you mean to tell me that people were coming to you, the corporation of A2 coming and asking to help get bylaws established for the bamboo brothels? Well, I will say this. There is an individual that's on there, and we signed a mutual NDA. So I can't disclose what they asked me to do, but I can disclose not only that they want me to set up their bylaws, but they've been trying to get me to set up their bylaws since then.
Well, you can't put it out there, but I can, because I didn't sign Dum Dum Diddy, because Bamboo Boy
Dum Dum Diddy
asked me to do the same thing 3 years ago. Bamboo, so run and get your money, little Bamboo Boy.
Oh man.
See, the problem is that, I'm not gonna do it. I'll just say this. When keeping it real, fake goes wrong, when you can be a pretend Indian and then you run up against a real Indian, then you start running.
I don't like people playing on my phone.
So, all of us got people in the community that vouch for us. And for the individual that said he'd come into my community because he got more followers or he got more people that know me than I do, you still ain't told me what airport you was gonna pull up in. I had somebody come get you. Now I don't mean come get you as in snipe you out or take you out. You let me know. You let me know. Do you want me to send a limo for you? You want one of them limos with 40 seats? Cause I got people that can, I got a Moroccan who has a limo service. And he got the 40 passenger limos. He got the 40 passenger Mercedes limos that can come pick you up in style and take you to the office and we can have a conversation. So
I'm not banking like you. By the time it's so I already sent them a Greyhound ticket and a DART train pass. So come on, get on that Greyhound bus from where you are out there in the desert, and then you just tell them your name at the counter. They'll give you that DART train pass and come see me.
So and that information and look that invitation.
Just tell them no wrestling.
And look, that information is for all you Moors that want to speak Moors that talk about y'all represented by Morocco. I have a good friend who's Moroccan, whose brother drives for one of the princes of the Emirates, the Emirates. And you can have a conversation about this Moors, right? We can get this stuff on wax. We can get it on paper. We can get it on video. And I'll let you talk to a real Moroccan. I mean, you let me know when y'all want to do this. Like I said, I'll come pick you up at the airport. You know, how many seats you need? We can squash all this in one day.
TMA doing seminar.
Look at the And again, so nobody takes it and create a narrative. This is not us standing here like we all high, mighty, and righteous. No. This is not us taking on the approach that we the overseers of some community. No. It's about right and wrong. It's about for us to move forward, to do what needs to be done. If a cleansing has to happen. And it's not that nobody's standing here placing judgment. Your actions speak for yourself. And when it doesn't change and it keeps going on, and not only keep going on, you try to respin it to put it on the people that's really trying to help. This is the effect. Because by no means, no one here is going to allow no one to throw dirt or to stop something that can benefit people in real time. If you think we volunteer our time for our communities, physically and our YouTube communities, to let name calling, shouting, and screamers run us away, then you're really mistaken. Again, our future is on the line. And if we want to be that generation that gets it right, these are the steps we got to take. We cannot allow this foolishness to represent us. You have to look at it. The way it's designed and the way it's packaged. It catches a lot of innocent people because it's put together in the format that you're familiar with if you're coming from that lifestyle. But it's radical. And a lot of our people are hurting, are just trying to find a way out. And if we say that we're doing this for the generations, for our people, some of these people that still lost are our people who don't even know it. And we can't stand here and pass judgment and act any better. We must remove the cancer or do the best that we can to let it be known. So now that the information is out there, everyone got a choice to make. If we say we want this to get better, we see where the issue's at. It's time to shut them down and remove the issues. Don't let emotions blind you, because emotions can't feed you. Emotions ain't gonna house you. Emotions are not gonna close you. Let's stop falling for everything just because it sounds good. If this is about your life, take the time out to do real research into these programs. Research your neighborhood. Understand how it's governed, how it's moved. Understand local commerce. Don't let nobody talk you out of your birthright by telling you it's not important to know. It's vital. The whole world is operating this way. What you think? He gonna bang your chest, throw some shots in the air, and the whole world gonna change because you said so?
So you mean magic words and standing on the square and standing in your stance and making a declarative statement? It's not going to put you in your right frame.
The director say cut, the actors go home. The director say cut, the actors go home. So you don't see that part of the script.
Wait a minute.
Say it again.
Brother Bones.
Director say cut, actors go home.
Wait a minute, brother.
You gonna be out there by yourself.
Brother Bones, you play basketball on a professional level, and when people get talking about standing on a square, and you coming through the lane full speed and dribbling like LeBron James, what's gonna happen to that person that they standing on a square and they not in their position?
You're gonna get knocked over.
Oh, no, there you go. That's what I'm talking about. From way downtown, bang. I'm off the mic. Y'all remember that? What was that movie with Whoopi Goldberg? And Yvonne take charge. He would never take the charge. He always get run over. That's what happened when you're not standing flat-footed and standing properly. You gonna get run, slap over. And I'll say this: the reason why I go in the paint like I do, and you gotta pay the toll, especially if you're on the East Coast. You know about you gotta pay that toll. You can't go across that bridge without paying the toll. Is when you come and you're asking business people to help you establish your business privately, but then publicly you're saying we're agents. That's where I had a problem. That's why I had a huge problem. So now you are disconnecting those that could have been helped because you're trying to monopolize and then charge people for the information that you're getting from us for free. If that's not the ultimate definition of a scammer, then I don't know what is.
Again.
And mad because we won't go for it. Because we rather say no. We're going to use mechanisms where we don't have to take from the relatives. We're going to use mechanisms to put things to where the relatives can benefit from being a part of it as a community in their local communities. So that makes us, like we said, the crooks, the thieves, the agents.
Yeah. Also in those videos, Bones lays out the blueprint to what we're doing so that the individual channels, not just this channel, but all the channels that were affiliated with Trib Up, could get paid without charging the community 1 red cent.
Oh, how did they take that?
I mean, you gotta watch this. You gotta watch the information to find that out.
A bunch of I can't go for that.
So that's in there too.
Oh, I can't.
Bones put out. He laid out how we could help the community, and even the YouTube content providers could get paid. Am I lying, Bones? You probably busy.
Laid it out.
Laid it out.
Away.
Told him.
All of them got the video.
So that's in there too. So the narrative that the whole point of us creating A2 was to take somebody's channel and to get paid and to keep them from getting paid and to block their channels. You got to realize the access was given to Bones and Coach by somebody that runs that channel because they went out of town. That's in the video too.
A sabbatical, if you will.
So at the end of the day, all that information is out there. So the narratives that are being painted in the back chat will cease. And what you will notice is that every time that we've put the videos, because I put one video in one back chat, and one of the biggest accusers of us slandering them, whenever I put a video in the back chat, they sign out of the back chat. They remove themselves from the back chat. So they can say they ain't seen it or they ain't know it.
That's pretty powerful.
So it's happened twice.
That's pretty powerful.
The moment I put the video in there, they remove themselves. Then all of a sudden the chat go quiet. You don't hear nothing. So that means not only the people that they're scamming are watching it, or not, I don't even think they're watching it. They don't want to know. Because ignorance is bliss. They don't want to know. There are YouTube content providers that know this for a fact. And they still rocking with these people. We got receipts on YouTube. See, this ain't gonna be no, it's not gonna be no redo of the,
but the reporters say it all.
Yeah.
Like you said, basically everybody that was a part of it, that knew, that was around, that was doing channels, is on there. It's on there. That's why once you listen and you make a choice, if you got any more questions after hearing all that, I really don't have no business socializing with you. And that goes to the relatives. Is once you see that, and other people done seen it too, and they looking like they confused, I don't think you should be socializing with them. Because that's how clear the evidence is.
Yeah.
We all should be willing to make a change. I mean, really. We're not always going to agree on things because we come from different walks of life. But the one thing that we all do see is that we cannot allow the same old to keep defining who we are. And I can't reiterate this enough. So if anything, going into a new year, where there's a whole lot more of us who know who we are, who know how we're going to identify on the census, and many more to come. We need to make sure to start shedding this baggage now. Start eliminating it now. Start unplugging from it now. Start killing it now. Because it's doing nothing but living off of your energy. See, the one thing here that I can tell you that everybody on this panel represents and respects is the time of the audience. You can always make more money, but you can't get more time. So if you're going to take your time out to be with us in the rising, we will guarantee that when we stand on something and represent you in this time, we're going to do it in the best light possible. Only bringing the facts. Only showing what we can verify that works. That's how you start showing how community supports itself. You got to be willing to stand when injustice shows its head, even when it looks like you.
Because more times than not, it's going to look like you. Wars are fought by proxies, my relatives. Wars are fought by proxies. So it is what it is. The die has been cast, the information has been presented, and now it's up for you, the audience, to make the decision. And no, Medicine Man was not on that panel, or was not part of that information. Medicine Man is not. From what I know, he's not affiliated directly with Travo.
I'll say this. I'll vouch for Medicine Man. He found out about the scam, even though I knew simultaneously. There is a video that's out there somewhere when Medicine Man and I were going to do a bill. And when the scammer popped up on the panel, I immediately dropped off. Medicine Man, being the man that he is, decided to go ahead and do his presentation anyway. After that, you haven't seen him since. He's doing his own thing. That ought to tell you something.
You gotta realize what has gone on has harmed a lot of people. There have been people that are basically pulled out of the YouTube community. They have no, what's the term? They have no faith in the information anymore because they don't know what to believe. And I can't say that I blame them, because they don't know. They didn't know who was telling the truth and who was lying. And Bones has got receipts on that too. There have been people that have been scammed in the community, and the only reason they even listened to this channel, even came on the channel, was because they heard how we felt about scammers.
Wait, what?
Yeah, there were people that got scammed, lost money, and then when they confronted the channel, the panel didn't attack them. The people in the chat attacked them.
So you're saying people came to Excuse me.
Okay, so let me give you an example. Let's just say I'm a subscriber to Channel B, right?
Mm-hmm.
Channel B promised me T-shirts, powwows, and all this other stuff. So I donated money with the hopes of getting my information or getting my or even getting my card. When I called, I didn't get a response. So then I go on that Channel B, and air out my frustrations and my grievance. The panel, yeah, on the same panel. The panel ignores them, but the chat attacks them.
The chat attacks the person, or the
No, the chat attacks the person.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes. And this is the same chat that has seen people conduct drug deals online live. And then after the call was done, and the said proposed purchaser of said pharmaceuticals tried to blow it off, their numbers increase, not decrease. This is what we're dealing with in our community.
So basically, if I'm hearing correctly, people are more misguided than they realize, and their moral compass, so to speak, their meter is off. Because if that grew more people, more whatever, then I mean it's okay, I get what you're saying.
And the reason why you're not allowed to block channels over there is because they don't own that channel over there. That channel is owned by Pan African. That's why they can't block nobody. That's why Pan Africans can come over there and say what they want to say and be disrespectful to people.
I'm gonna lay it out like this: 5,000 a lead. It's nothing personal. Just laying it out how it is. Pan African is their CFO. So now every time you see a commercial on that channel for 5,000 a lead, any form, any apps, anything dealing with money, that's going to 5,000 a lead under the name of Tribal, but it's going to 5,000 a lead. You're financing the same people that's out to discredit you. And what makes it worse, it's not like they're informing people and telling them that. They just going on as business as usual.
I'm curious as to what made them pick up this torch, though. What made them pick this as their means to say that they're helping people? What's really going on with them, and what's really going on in their mind? Because, I mean, it sounds to me as though you have someone who's not your people intentionally trying to defraud. Okay.
Because they're taking a page out of Joe Jackson's
Indian.
Go ahead, James. You was gonna say something?
No, I was gonna say, go ahead, Brother Bones. What I said, probably don't need to be repeated.
Go ahead.
No, you good. You good.
Oh, I got it. Joe Jackson. Okay.
Hey, look at you gonna repeat it anyway. Go ahead, Brother Bones.
I'm so sorry.
Everybody simple. Everybody's not an Indian. Everybody's not your tribesman or your clansman. How are you judging this? Off their appearance? That makes you no better than a European.
Yeah.
You got to stop judging people on how they look. No. Who do you tie back to? And even then, what's your actions?
Mm-hmm.
Your current actions as of right now, your actions that can affect us tomorrow. What do they show?
Like I said, it doesn't matter who your enemies and your friends are today. It matters if their actions dictate that you're friends and your enemies. Because who your enemy was 100 years ago might not be your enemy based off of their actions. And who your friend was 200 years ago, and I'm talking about tribal, might not be your friend today based off of their actions. Stop listening to what people say and watch what people do. Their actions will always tell on them. Always. What you do speaks so loudly, I cannot hear a word you saying. And that video, those videos those 24 hours of receipts that we got speak so loudly they should answer any question that anybody has of the voices that are said there. And if you got a question after that, I really don't know what to tell you.
Are they gonna be around? Are they gonna be loaded? Mm-hmm.
So we were double dog dared to release the tapes. Anybody that know me knows, you give me an ultimatum, I'm gonna take it.
Not double dog dare.
Double dog dared.
Man.
And if you give me an ultimatum, I'm gonna throw it away or maybe compost it.
You so goofy. So again, the goal was not to air dirty laundry, but when you start taking shots at people that I can vouch for, I got to pull your card. I got to do it because I don't mind you coming after me because you got my address. You know where I stay. You know where I'm ill. But instead of coming to see me and having a conversation like grown adults, you want to throw
threats.
You want to throw shade on somebody who's been repping their community for over 25 years and helping the community over 25 years, and now is taking that same information to help not only my community but your community, and you're gonna call him an agent, and you're gonna say he's taking money? Nah, partner, we got a problem. And see, when you got a problem with people in A2, you got a problem with me. And when you got a problem with me, and you scared of white folk, you got a serious problem because they scared of me. So I ain't never seen none of these people banging their chests go up against some of these colonizers. I only hear about it. You only go against people that look like you. So I already know you scared of them based off of your actions. You go from one Democratic state to another because the gun laws is different. You won't bring your tail down here to the South with an F or PH because you know we don't play that down here. So you can bang your chest in New York. You can bang your chest in Philly. You can bang your chest in New Jersey. You can talk that smack in Cali. But once you cross that Mason-Dixon line, it's a whole nother story. You scared of Virginia. You scared of North Carolina. You scared of South Carolina. You scared of Florida. You scared of Tennessee. You scared of Mississippi. You scared of Alabama. You scared of Texas. You scared of Louisiana. Sounds like the tribes that the Northern Indians were scared of, don't it? The more things change, the more things stay the same.
What you know about the dirty side?
I'm just saying. So keep banging your chest up north where you at. But what you ain't gonna do, you ain't coming down here. Cause you scared. Stay where the gun laws protect you.
I mean, when you think about it though, that's a really sad individual or individuals that you would look at people who look like you and figure, okay, this would be a good way to do what I do. This would be
At the end of the day, here's the thing, at the end of the day, everybody got a hood.
Yeah.
And I don't care if you never lived in the hood. Everybody got family in the hood.
Yeah.
And this is what I do know. The stuff that go on YouTube would never go on in the hood.
Yeah.
Never. It coming out your mouth, threatening folks, banging up your chest. Come on, man. You say all this stuff, but you ain't a
Call the telephone tough guy.
Because where I come from, that'll get your grill in the pawn shop. You literally get your grill snatched out of your mouth and they pawn it. I got a question. I'm gonna pull a Sister Gabrielle Union today again. I got a question for y'all. Is it possible to be an Akibalan Indian?
A what?
Akibalan Indian.
Can you spell that for me?
Okay, is it possible? Let me break it down here. Is it possible to be an Ethiopian Indian?
Can you use that in a sentence for me, please?
I am half from Ethiopia, and I'm claiming it, and I'm half from America, and I'm claiming it.
And root word of origin, please.
But I'm indigenous to the Americas. But Akibalan. Akibalan is an old name that they say is used for Africa. So if you're an Akibalan Indian, does that not make you African American?
Yes, it would.
If you are a Moorish American, because Moor means the cap. What is the capital of the throne of Moor in Morocco?
Please don't do it.
Morocco is where?
It's in Northern Africa, but it's in Northern Africa, but they rep the Iberian Peninsula, aka Hispaniola.
More.
AKA Spain. But I'm sorry, go ahead, I digress.
So wouldn't that make you a Hispanic? Because
Latino American.
Your papa is Iberian, right?
Well,
doesn't that make you Hispanic?
It's complicated. Because the laws, we got the laws. We took over everything. We ran everything. We started over here, and then we went over there.
All I know is, because I was able to go outside a little bit. I know some people don't get off their front porch and they can't for whatever reason. I don't know, they got something around their brace, their ankle, or whatever's going on. I don't know, but they can't leave the front porch. But two things would always happen. If you say something about my mama, I'm gonna knock you out. And you know how some of the kids that get knocked out, they run and tell their daddy. So if you're getting slapped around, now you claiming to be a Moor. So now you got to go get your daddy. Again, that makes you Hispanic. So don't come talking to me about Christopher Columbus and I don't know everything he did because you fall right into that same category. You are part of those same people. So when you claiming something, it's one thing if you come. This is one thing if you don't know it. You a child and you don't know. It's another thing when you say that I'm woke. I ain't got out of bed though, but I'm woke, and I know when I'm signing now. I know when I put my signature on these things. I know what I'm doing. So when you're saying you are a Moorish American, you are saying your daddy is Spain. There's no other way around it. Think about that. So when someone is telling you who you are, but without identifying who they are, you better start questioning that.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
Exactly. More you go on Maury Povich if you want to, you're going to find yourself embarrassed. I yield this cotton picking mic.
Hold on, did you say Maury Povich? Did you say
More, bro. It's in America.
What do you say to a nice gentleman? Are you my babe?
I saw someone say something. There was two people. It was Michael Harris Brown, Cheek and Associates, and Macadon One. Yes, the person that y'all referring to in the chat, they try to send that person my way. Now I'm gonna tell you how deep scammers go. when that person started calling them out as being scammers, they went so far as to say, oh, Doodoo was a part of us too. How could you go that far knowing that you hate my guts? Because I've been showing who you really are. I turned the light on and saw all the roaches on the counter. You go that far to tell that individual that I was a part of your organization when I never was. See how people do what they do? And like I said again, y'all keep figuring out, you got Pan-Africanists that's controlling these things over and over and over and over. That's why I said before, and somebody talking about, oh, I'm your pappy. Again, to the dude that's saying I'm your pappy. I remember when you were RBG, and I've been who I am. You can ask my foes, you can ask my friends, you can ask my associates, and you can ask my frenemies. I've always come in and told you who I was and who my people are. Never hid it. So again, who is who and who's doing what? That's why I asked the question. Akibalon is the name that Pan-Africanists was saying what Africa used to be called. So I'm asking you again, is it possible to be an Akibalon Indian? Because if you are, then you're saying you're African American by default.
Default of what?
Because Akibalon is Africa.
It is.
It's a continent
And
known as
Indian is
Africa.
America.
So, but when you say by default, like default by what they're saying, by default because they're here, like default of what? I'm not even being funny. I'm serious. I don't. Default of what?
One parent actually comes from Akibalon. That's what you're claiming. Which is now known as Africa, and the other parent is coming from is an American Indian. So African American, or you could say African American Indian.
Okay, I mean from that breakdown, I mean I guess it's possible. I think, depending on
if that's what you identified as, think about it. If your father, even right now, if your father was any place from Africa and your mother's any place from America, what would you identify as now?
An African American.
Exactly. So some of these people that's claiming African American, sometimes you shouldn't even be arguing with them because you don't know their genealogy. You don't know their family.
Got you. Oh, because when they're saying African, okay, it makes sense. They're saying African American, and they probably actually are African. Okay, I got you. I get it.
Again, everybody is not an Indian. Just because you have dark skin. See, we cannot fall into the same thing that we point the finger at others. We cannot go on a limb and be like, just because you have melanated skin, you're African. No. I mean, yeah, just because you have melanated skin, you're not an African. Just because you have melanated skin does not mean everybody is an Indian. It's not based on your skin color, is what I'm saying. It's who you related to. Who do you trace back to?
That's why.
Because what we're going to do, every person identified as black in America, we're going to say is an Indian. Everyone. We know there were melanated Germans and Irish that came. We know later on in the 1900s, you got Nigerians and Ethiopians coming. So we can't say that just because the color of your skin, you're Indian. No. We should make genealogies a standard. Because guess what? If you want to be part of their societies, and it's not saying it's copying, no, this is for protection. Shouldn't you want people to do genealogy to know who you're dealing with? Or even the person to know where they come from, so they can understand the choices that they're making and the ramifications of them? Again, we're talking about life here. We're talking about decisions that we shouldn't play over, that we should actually make sure if we're going to vet anything, genealogy should be that point. Don't assume nothing. Some people out here repping something that might be who they are. I'm not finna argue with you, but I know who I am. Sometimes you really gotta listen to what people are telling you, but really listen.
What does my Angelou say? If somebody tells you who they are, believe them.
What?
My job is not to tell you who you are. My job is not to tell you who you're not. My job is help you prove who you could be. That's it.
And when the rubber meets the road, that's the point. Because when someone else tries to define who you are, when you know who you are, therein lies the problem. I've never told an African American or a African American, because you half and half, that's what you're saying. I've never told them that they're not. I've never told them that they're not. So I said, as one brother, he is RBG to the bone. He is atheist, and he will tell you everything West African, son. But he's never tried to convert me, and I've never tried to convert him. I simply asked him, has he done his genealogy? He said no. That's up to that individual to do his genealogy. All I know is that he is helping people with their credit. He's established a school in New York City. So all I know is, hey, parents are sending their kids to school. They're getting educated. They're going on tours. And I can't knock it. Who's to knock it? That's what he does. I know my lane. Again, they put A2 all the way out in lane 8. Laughing. You're the last one to qualify. All the way out in lane 8. So you're mad because A2 was the new kids on the block, because you're still a baby. New kids on the block. And now A2 has done things in less than a year. Y'all don't realize, like I said again, A2, you still an infant. You still got water head. That's how young y'all are. You can barely lift your own head up without falling over. And now they mad because somebody talking about they the pappy and been here and have established nothing. Is what we're trying to do. No, there should be a track record showing this is what we have done, not what we're trying to do. You still trying to get AdSense? Come on, son. Something is wrong with that. I gotta go. I'm about to
This is embarrassing.
Add dollars.
What are you gonna do?
Super chats.
Or paypal.me/Jane Hathaway.
Y'all know, come fill out my form, even though it ties back to a Pan-African company. But it's Indian, though. Just calling it how it is, because enough is enough. Enough is enough. And now that people know, now it puts the responsibility where it needs to be. Back to the viewers, back to the everyday person that's tuning in. Because if you're discussing it, you're tired of it. You don't feed into it. We don't support it. We actually use the power that we have. Again, we're so quick to go protest and rally against somebody who don't look like us. But what happened when our own is doing the most injustice? How is anybody going to take us serious if we're not even trying to clean up our own house? But we're going to try to tell somebody else how their house needs to be when we come around. That ain't going to work.
Nights like this, I wish.
Hey Bones, did we give away our first T-shirt yet? The first person in the chat. Did we have a first person in the chat that wasn't us? I mean, we didn't design a T-shirt yet, nor did we pay for anything up front. So they won't be ready. We just won't tell you about it until never. You won though.
And when it did happen, I ate that. But the tapes will play all that act.
You get a T. You get a T.
Everything
Get the T.
Everything is in the video. 24 hours of nothing but receipts. No,
Pick up the video. Like the video.
no gaps.
Thumb up the video.
No
Like
hiding.
the video.
And y'all will hear me saying the same thing I'm saying now that I was saying then.
Yeah, your voice sounds familiar.
Yeah, you know.
Almost like it was this time of year last year.
Same. Ain't nothing changed. I'm still me.
Same OG, huh?
But actually built what we said we was going to build. Actually use the steps and procedures in front of the community, in the community. Everything that was laid out, we actually put in motion. We're actually doing the show from the platform on saying how we were going to build it and do it. But it wouldn't work.
And the narrative is that we are waiting to hear from them so we can go copy. But the ideas that they have, here's the thing. Here's one thing the video is going to tell you.
Wait, that was sarcasm, right?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm about to confirm what I'm talking about. It's interesting that everything that Bones has laid out, we're doing. And it's interesting that everything that they laid out that they were going to do, they haven't done yet. But they're accusing us of stealing their ideas when their ideas are recorded and we have done none of their ideas. I'm going to say that for the people in the cheap seats. Everything that Bones said that we were going to do, we're doing. Everything that they proposed on Tribe Up that they were going to do, we're not doing. But you let them tell it, we stole all the ideas from them, but we're not doing anything that they said they was doing. See how that worked?
So that means they're not telling the truth? They're telling the story?
Man, are we over here trying to get people to invest in a floating factory on the water?
No.
Recycle computer parts?
Who?
Never come in toilet tissue?
Wait, what? Recycled what?
And I'm not saying this to be funny. You get what I'm saying? Because I'm like, TMH, after a while, the foolishness has to stop. That's what I mean. When you listen to the recordings, all of this is there. And you would see the stance that we took. You would see when we said that we came together to make a stand for our Indian brothers and sisters. You're going to hear it for yourself.
Oh yeah. And then, oh yeah, this is really good one. You want me to invest in your company or invest in something that you're doing, but you want me to draft a proposal so I can invest in your company.
Yeah. Oh, I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah, me and TMH was supposed to come up with the proposal. The proposal for us to do business with this company, we were supposed to come up with the proposal to give to ourselves.
It was almost as if, you know, how TMH say, no sellout, what'd you learn yesterday? And I'd be like, yo, it's whatever you wrote down.
Yeah.
Same. Twins. I mean, we got the rapping and that's how it happened.
Yeah, there were proposals being brought to Bones and I. And we would be like, dude, we need this in writing. Well, can you do that for me? What? How am I gonna do it for you and you the one bringing me to? I don't know what you proposing. That's why I'm asking you.
TMH, can you write my proposal and let me know if it's good enough?
But you know, but the Girl Scouts is an organization that we copy because the Girl Scouts is the biggest nonprofit organization in the world.
And that's more sarcasm, Gavin.
But they're not in the top 10. And I proved that to y'all and I pulled up in 0.6 seconds. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Some people don't use Google.
Maybe those Girl Scouts are hustlers and smugglers when they try to get you with the cookies when they standing outside the grocery store. That's why I don't go around and you want to buy your cookie? It's the same thing. Then you want to get a business on the beachfront so you can smuggle in your cocaine, Pillsbury Doughboy. Is that what you're trying to do? All I know is how are you going to follow? How you going to follow the Dollar Tree when you won't even go to your family tree? Come on, son.
Hold on. But in all fairness, it is a tree though, ain't it? Huh?
Even a juniper tree bears no fruit. See, you know a tree by the fruit that it bears. Like I say, they mad because y'all came up on the scene like Stewie Griffin, big waterhead baby that's running the whole house. That's what they mad about.
Maybe it's a tree that doesn't split.
No, that what they trying to do. I'm telling you, that's what they mad about. That's what they are mad about. They are mad because y'all Stewie Griffin them and came up and said, my mama is Lois and you fat man. And that's what they mad about. Running things and they were mad. Y'all ain't been here long enough. Y'all ain't been here long enough. Y'all don't know nothing because y'all ain't been here long enough. And a little child shall lead them. I yield the mic.
You know, all right, with you guys coming on the scenes with your way of thinking, which, let me clarify, is definitely not a bad way of thinking and doing things. I mean, to really think about it, if you hadn't have come out and come together and had your way of thinking and put it forward, how bad off, how worse would people's situations be right now? You know what I mean? Like, how much worse would it have gotten? How much bigger would their egos have gotten? You know what I mean?
You ask a question, I'm gonna give you the answer because I've been here long enough to see it firsthand. What it goes to is they're a fake stage debates. This is where it goes. Mm-hmm. Everybody's getting behind the scenes talking what they're gonna do and how they're gonna divvy up the money. Mm-hmm. They go from city to city on this so-called tour, mm-hmm. running all these women into town, mm-hmm. and then they break camp. And then they do it again. And mm-hmm. then they do it again. And they do it again. That's what was happening. This is why pretty soon you're going to see the clap back from these women because they said, okay, we have been silent long enough because they have been shamed into not saying anything. Because that's what happened before. When women started coming forward, that's why I go after Bamboo Boy the way I do. When they started coming forward, then they were wrong and they got shamed for coming forward. Mm-hmm. This is what this community does. This is why I do what I do, for that very reason. And they continue to do it again. There are women that have been scammed. They come in and they do the smooth talking, they squatting on these women, and then when they use them up, they go on to the next one. And I'm not telling you what I heard, I'm telling you what I know.
Right.
So now they're left high and dry with their children, and you got them going again and they're repeating the same thing. And that's exactly what they are doing. This is how deep it goes. And some people keep saying, oh, it's about YouTube beef. No, it's deeper than that. When you got someone that's out there reaching out and they trying to help someone because you talking about, oh, because you talked about you the great I am, and then they don't have anything, they don't have a piece of bread to feed their children, and you could care less, that's where the problems start coming in.
Right.
So for those that think that this is just a YouTube game, and I see a lot of things in jest because that's just me, the comedian in me, but I say a lot of things that if you really listen and take heed to what I'm saying, I'm telling you, I've been here long enough and I've seen it. And that's why they have a disdain for me, because I've been around long enough to see it, and I've been countering it as long as I've been around when I see it. That's the problem. That's the issue. And when these women get scammed, and these guys, and I don't say, because that's what they are. They're males. I put it that way. They're males. They turn around and they don't see anything. They don't know anything. Oh, I didn't see, but they so-called deep researchers, but they never see anything, and they think that it's okay. But then on the surface, they telling you the black woman is God, but then behind the scenes, it's a whole different story. So now you're gonna see the clap back, because there's some women about to clap back. Keep watching. I yield the mic.
They just needed a platform where they could be honest and be respected. That's all I'm saying. Well, proof is not a problem, partner.
You gotta say it the way No Sellout says it.
Nah, I can't say it like that because I'm not spitting all over my equipment. I don't have no popper stopper.
I'm sorry. Oh, Cliff Tip, why did you do that? You done put the name in the chat, and you know she all up in our community. When she tried to get slick, because she tried to pull me in too, and she took the video down. Old Clip Tip put a name in there. I'm not gonna say it loud. She put a name in there, and this individual's like, "Oh yeah, oh James Flames, you want a book? You want a book?" Because they were giving out books. Here's what they were doing: if you were the liveliest YouTube personality in the chat, then you would win a prize.
What?
In order for you to get that prize, they had to have your mailing address to send it to you.
Okay.
Now that they got your mailing address, they have all of your information. This is how they were working it. They would use, these women were allowed to be used to do this. And when she was like, "Oh yeah," she contacted me, "Oh, you won the book. Oh, I see your information because you won the book." Okay, cool. And I said, "Send it in," I said, "in honor of my wife. And here's the address." And I gave her the P.O. box. Because mama didn't raise no fools. And this is what they were doing, because now you got them coming in, they got your address, and have you seen when they do, because they do it on the interactive video games, and they'll give out a fake address and saying that you doing this and that, blah, 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 to get word to the FBI. Next thing you know, you got people, the alphabet people kicking in your door. Yeah, that's what they were doing. That's why I tell you, it's deeper than YouTube.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's deeper than YouTube.
Man,
No, I
come
don't
on
even
now.
think
You
I
telling them
heard
too
you
much,
right.
gang. It's
I
early
don't-
Friday morning. What's going on now?
My head just, I don't even think I heard that right. I think I was listening too hard.
No, you heard right.
Mm-mm. 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 Ain't no way. I think my hearing went out. My ear ringing. I ain't hear that right. Mm-mm.
Hey, I'm like this. Like, what was that on Little Man and Pops when he was on there? He's like, "Ask Teddy Bear. Teddy Bear knows. Ask Oak Cliff Tip. Oak Cliff Tip knows. Ask the Teddy Bear. Teddy Bear knows."
That is really, really sad. It's like
This
this
is
story
why
just gets sadder and sadder. This is like a bad, sad horror movie.
This is why I say, Sister Gabrielle Union, when I say it goes deep, everybody keep talking about YouTube, B. It goes deep when you start trying to get, and like I said, Oak Cliff Tip, and they know this, but no sell, I know this too, because I already confronted the group that was doing this, because they use females to infiltrate the groups to get information, because everybody know about pillow talk. I can't talk about that one that betrayed us with Cortez and the other one that did it again with Santa Ana. I can't mention those two names. It's pillow talk. So now you have
Wait,
individuals.
Wait. Pillow talk is when you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
Okay. I'm
Old
listening.
Clip, just go look in the chat. Old Clip Tiff already gave you one of the names, and somebody else gave you another name. Come on, son. And there was another individual that has disappeared. She was hashtagging everybody. She was making all these videos, a doctor, somebody. And I kept asking her questions, and she know, oh, thank you for your input. Thank you for your input. Do you have more information? I gave her the sources, never heard back from her. All of a sudden now, she's not posting any more videos.
I mean, does she even teach?
What's going on with that? You tell me. I really want to know. I yield the mic.
What's up with that? What's up with that?
With your host, DeAndre Cole. See, I told y'all, Dallas is deep up in this camp. All you got to do is look at the people from Dallas and look what they putting in the chat. So that ought to tell you right there, what I say, I know what I'm talking about. And that's why I say again, I didn't tell anyone, stay away from these guys. People came to me, and when they asked me honestly, and I said, hey, you may want to do a little research, and I'll just put people on the right path. And they started, and I said, here's a name for you. There's a name for you. There's another name for you. You may want to go do some homework. And when they came back and found out, like, oh man, shoot, I'm glad I didn't get into that. Because if you go out there and you say things, then people go, oh, he just hating. But when you start finding out for yourself and you keep seeing these same trails, when people talk about, oh, I want to come up with these powwows, best powwow ever, first powwow in all the whole land, then we're going to record rap videos. And the rap videos that I know is females shaking like a tail feather. You got Nelly sliding stuff places that shouldn't be slid. Credit card
it's on the video. It's on the video. It's bad. It's real bad. But that's how
I thought the video part was a joke, though. I honestly thought that was a joke until they actually said out loud that, yeah, if we want to shoot videos, we shoot videos. What?
Huh? What?
So you're saying you want? Oh, okay. All right.
But then you the problem because you don't want to go along with it. Well, I guess I'd be a problem.
National Park tort.
Or like a powwow without no permit?
Pretty much. Oh man, turn into a marathon at the end when the feds show up.
Y'all go on out there if you want to, and what's gonna happen is with that Dollar Tree, they have invested in purple blankets to cover you up with, and you're gonna get those RBG mosquito skin, big baller brand blowout tennis shoes on your feet. So that's where they gonna find you after they give you that Kool-Aid that you drank, covered up in purple sheets. Look up what was that group in California, the Purple Sheets. They're going to go see the mothership. Y'all go ahead if you want to. And just south of me in Waco, them Branch Davidians, you go ahead and do what you go ahead and do if you want to. Go ahead. Knock yourself out. Jim Jones, guy in a tragedy, you knock yourself out. You go ahead and keep trying to be a part of that with people that you don't know. And they're not giving you information about anything that they have done, and then question your track record of what you're, like I said, real time. A2, new name, you a Stewie Griffin. How? Again, you come on the scene, not even a year. Not even a year. How does that happen? See, everybody's looking at longevity, and there's a difference between a 68 Pinto and a 57 Chevy. One is a classic and one is just old. You take your pick. I'll take the 57 Chevy. Don't give me no Pinto. I'm out this cotton picking mic.
One of the things that you got to realize that played out when Bones went on to that platform and set the record straight for the, with the Pan African community, and they thought he was me. They were actually doing research on myself and Bones to see if we had legitimate companies. And one thing they know for a fact, when you come up against a nonprofit and you start doing things you ain't got no business, you will get hemmed up. Because that is a federally protected entity.
Love it. Hold on.
So when they realized that a Toxins Assembly was a legitimate 501c3, that's why ain't nobody came over here to come visit us.
They're not calling us.
Because what would have happened was, there would have been some clapback. Some cities would have got sued. Yeah. Somebody would have been coming off some Skrilla. See, so you got to realize the game is being played.
What's Skrilla?
Dough, cheddar, money, dinero.
Oh, I thought you was talking about biscuits for a minute.
I mean, if your heat is right, it'll rise, won't it? David Corey says, y'all 501c3. Yes, David. And I have two other 501c3s. This ain't no fake. This is real.
Yeah, and I don't even drive a Benz.
Oh, you deaf though.
Yeah, deaf though.
Big Skrilla.
I don't like any of them.
You mean you don't drive a Benz with cherry wood steering wheel, and cherry wood panel? Come on, son.
That wood grain. Ain't that a 501c3? I don't know what it is.
Wait.
That 501c3, I seen it riding down the street the other day, boy. It was clean. It got the pins on it.
David Corey said, "Can you help me get one? LOL." You mean that Mercedes C3? Is that what you talking about?
Exactly. I don't know which one is it. What we talking about? Yes and yes.
And then Brother Bones come through like a Red Cross worker with bottled water and blankets, bailing folk out because so-called Indians, they represent all of us, were going on that platform taking an L. And since that day, because they were like, we're going to bang on, these elbows. And since that day, they've gone back to their regularly scheduled program of banging on Christians,
the Hebrew
Israelites, and Moors. They go right back to the same thing. Why? Why don't those panels have elbow talks anymore? What happened to the elbow talk?
Well, it's funny because Daddy Yankee is trying to take credit for that. I'm just saying.
Well, I know it was Cobb. Unmute yourself. Thomas. Oh, I researched you. Pulling up stuff live on the air. You ain't researching nothing. And like, wait a minute. Oh man, I can. I find myself in court behind. Let me back away from this. Let me go over here with the other scammers. Unmute yourself, Cobb. Unmute yourself.
What?
I walk around here looking like Frankenstein. They got Bones' voice, Thomas's business with Brother No Sellout's body. Come on, son.
What did he say? And I'll form the head. Voltron.
Dude just called me, man, but I don't know him. He just called me. Michael
Harris Brown Cheek says, IRS, I'm really scared of 501c's and white folks. Y'all ain't right.
But again, then we said before that we have no problem. We're not talking about HUD Section 3 because we're just talking. We actually had discussions meeting with these representatives. And if something ain't right, if we willing to challenge them, if something isn't right, shouldn't that be a sign that we're gonna challenge somebody in the community if it's wrong?
That's logic. That don't make sense.
All I know is we had a series of conversations. Then we went on and talked to the individual, and Brother No Seller, I got them escorted out, and they got their stuff shipped to them via FedEx.
Yeah, so they couldn't carry out the Xerox box. Like,
take nothing with you, ma'am, and we'll take your badge, your key card, and escorted her on out the door. So if that doesn't show you anything, when you talking about agents, agents, you scamming the community. Come on, son. Somebody just lost a prominent, high-paying job.
Stop that waffle.
Mm.
We don't need them chicken and waffles.
Hey, look.
Waste, fraud, and abuse.
Look. David said, man, I ain't gonna lie, man. I thought she was tie up. Look, yeah, our voices have been mistaken before. He speaks more eloquent than me. Yeah, he speaks a little bit more eloquent than I do. He's got more of a I guess Midwestern accent. Mine's the South.
No, that's West African accent.
Well, I know it's West.
Yeah,
look, I'm fumbling to get to the chat to see if we talk about the same person because I only know of a West African accent. Super weird.
And I don't care how old you are. When you say, I know about New Edition, but I don't know about the Temptations and the Four Tops, you West African, son.
Hey, I forgot all that shit there too. Oh my goodness. It's bad, y'all. It's real bad.
So yeah, at the end of the day,
You ain't even from over here.
at the end of the day, it's all about business. It's all about being real. It's all about knowing who you are. It's all about being able to vouch for people. That's also in the videos too. We talked about that extensively. I know Bones and I did. Vouching for people. Doing business with people and knowing who they are. So we ain't saying nothing that
It's almost like y'all was throwing hints to people who was not, doing business the proper way, like knowing people's real names, face to face on the phone. I don't know. It just, go ahead, TMH.
I mean, it is what it is. You will see and hear who knows what, who did what, and who said what. 24 hours worth of receipts. Basically 3 months worth of info. So. And the names were not changed to protect the innocent nor the stupid because everybody knew the conversation was being recorded and everybody has a copy of the conversation. So it's not like I was doing a secret recording. I don't do that.
Hey, can you have a plausible deniability with this recording if you was on the call?
Can you have plausible deniability? I mean,
I don't know if I'm using the right terms. Where you can act like you weren't there or act like you ain't know.
No, it's not plausible to deny something when it's been recorded. But I mean, you can't. I mean, can't nobody see? Here's the thing: grown people do grown stuff, and you can't tell grown people nothing because they're grown. So, can they do it? Yes. Is it advised they do it? No. So,
Yeah, okay.
Hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, kinda.
And again, all the meetings are in, or where you can get all the meetings on Ain't. You don't have to wait. It's on demand. So pick a meeting, watch it through, pick another. Sit back here for yourself so you can know what individuals are in this community acting like they have your best interest in mind, but really trying to keep you in the same situation. Oh, good thing about Ain't too, they can get mad all you want. Can't flag it.
Ain't no flag button.
It's our own. Hey, American Indian Network Television. It's our own.
Now that's what you call power, right?
Yep. And you'll hear that's what we've been talking the whole time. People acting like they talking about building for the American Indian, building our own, but wasn't serious.
And it's gonna get
Big Hawk. If you need more, go to Ain't. You can log in. You can go to the Ain't page. It's all there. You don't have to guess. Everything is there. You hear the people speaking for themselves in their own voice. Information. Everything is there. We have nothing to hide.
You'll hear my voice, you'll hear Bones' voice, C there, P there, Mama there, we there. Everybody.
Make sure to check out Doodoo Vision channel for a nice little snippet.
With Batman and Robin.
So that's it now, right? I mean, we good. I mean, you know, we done provided some information. We done learned some things. So, you know. So it's about that time, man, peoples. Yeah, it's about that time. It's way past that time. So everybody in the chat should be extremely happy.
Plus, we can let them go get over the Ain't so they can start watching that beautiful bean footage.
That beautiful bean footage. So with that being said, Gabby, what you got for the good people before we let them go on and check out those video and audio receipts? What you got for us?
All right. So we're not reading about San Juan Hill anymore.
Gabby.
We'll pick up that tomorrow, Rising.
Yes. Peace, blessings, prosperity, possibilities, and opportunities. That's how I rose in this day feeling. Still think it's there. Still feel it's there. Yeah. What's that saying? Be wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove. Peace to everyone. Peace to the panel. Peace to the chat. Peace to all.
One of these days I'm gonna learn. Yeah, I'm gonna learn one day when Gabby ends, cause her ends are abrupt and just permanent. It's like get quiet. I was like, oh, she done.
Oh, you're never gonna know. Yeah, it could be you got a 15-minute exit, or you got a 3-sentence exit. Either way, you're not gonna know when it's over.
Okay.
It's just a lot. Okay, it's just a lot. I mean, I had some situations that popped up in my mind that I really think is related. Like I think it's what I think that I heard today or took, I think I heard new names to old people.
How a tribe is going to be directed.
Old situations that I knew about dealing with other people. And even though I learned vicariously through me, I also learned by watching other people and other people's situation, like, okay, you went that way, I'm going this way. But yeah, I don't know. I just heard a lot of different things and it made me think about different situations that people were put in. And it's just sad. It's just sad. So yeah, you gotta be wise as a serpent, but also harmless as a dove. You know, you got to pay attention and make sure that you're not getting in a situation that can not just harm you, but those around you. But then you got to have a heart. Tin Man's got to, no, the lion has to get a heart, has to be brave. So that's it. That's what I got. Peace and opportunity. He said what?
Nothing. Oh my God.
Really, that's what we doing. Just. I put
Thank you, Gabby.
I put the direct link to the Ain't TV since obviously I'm not speaking correctly. David Corey told me some Ain't got its own TV. Man, where y'all been? Bones been telling y'all about Ain't for how long now? About 3-4 months now? 3 months? Something like that. Anyway. Y'all don't be listening.
Well, you know what? Yeah.
What was that?
Because I thought about it this weekend. I did some diving on people's pages just to get a feel of or get a knowing of associations, and I did a dive to see what groups represented what what companies and what companies were tied to other companies, and it was real interesting to see how certain companies tied to groups that I know aren't not only not for. Okay. They're not for people. They are for self and for their own self-benefit, regardless of what the situation is. So it was just real interesting to hear today.
Okay. All right. No sell out. The Natchez boy. What you doing? Natchez Duchess.
The Natchez Baptiste.
Natchez Baptiste.
Peace, y'all.
You gonna say something else?
I mean, y'all said enough. I'm all right. I'm okay.
So you just gonna go on mute and don't say nothing else? Gabby got a hand. Gabby.
DC's wife.
She got more hands than octopus. What you want?
Read what David Corey said, or no, typed text.
Texas. You reading them Texas?
I am now.
Which ones? He said, ain't got its own TV. Then he says, gut, not your butt. Got him. Wait, I don't understand.
Always go with your gut, not your butt.
Oh. That's what you want me to read?
I thought it was pretty funny.
That's why you raised your hand. Why didn't you ain't read it? No, implicate me. Implicate me.
Thought you wanted to finish it, round up.
Boo.
On your donation to the swear jar, you know.
You know what? You know what? You know what? Stop it.
Contribution, blissness is coming.
James Flame, aka Doodle Vision, aka Choctaw Jimmy. What you got for the good people before we let them get on out of here and get on Ain't and do what they do?
Man. Oh, if you don't know, now you know. Gabrielle Union, how you gonna turn around and you read David Corey's, and then I gotta almost make threats for you to read my chats and my text messages and shout out.
That's cause no. That's cause TMH be clotheslining me. You don't understand. He be threatening me.
What up, pimp? There's threats, pimp.
Then you read it with no feeling. Yeah, this is what James said.
I'll do better.
Sound like a lounge.
Then Brother David Corey put that. She's like, read what he said. Woo, yes. So I'm gonna start doing this. I'm gonna start sending my shout outs to Brother David Corey, and he's gonna put it in the chat like it's him.
No, you see what David
It's Corey, Gabby, and yes, we all saw it. We saw it.
I'll do better.
But let me get my list out. Y'all heard it? My God, I got so many shout outs I had to write them down. I feel like I'm at the President Honor Awards and I'm getting my award for my
Put the
lifetime
reading glasses on and pull the sheet out the breast pocket. He's like, I ain't got much to say, but let me see here what I got.
First of all, I want to thank everyone that's been a part of this, that helped me to stand before you this great day. To those on the panel, to Sister Gabrielle Union, keep doing what you're doing. Keep uniting the people and understand, even know that in the question, you're the answer. To Brother No Sellout, who has me on another assignment. So tonight, I'll be out of pocket for most of the night. Thanks to Brother No Sellout. I appreciate you once again. No sleep till Brooklyn. To Brother Thomas, I told y'all once before, and I keep telling y'all, but y'all keep slipping. And I told you. He keeps saying, I got receipts. He's been telling you as a businessman, and they always tell you when you're in business for yourself, keep your receipts. So now the receipts are being out there. And what he did is he scanned those receipts in. Because you know the receipts, that's why they do it like they do it at the business. They give you the receipts and it starts fading. And they tell you scan it in. That way you still have that receipt. So he scanned in the receipts and they got them. And it's live. Like I say, on demand. You don't have to, because you know my Netflix is kind of the way my bank account is set up. So no Netflix, $9.99. There's no free subscription. Well, no free subscription, but you got to subscribe plus a subscription for $9.99 a month, plus shipping and handling, plus the tax. But then it's free after you pay the $9.99. But not on A2. And I say this because y'all still have some relatives that have not subscribed. Tell them to subscribe. Now, shout out Thomas. Keep doing it. But I'm gonna tell y'all this. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna say a little something. I'm gonna be done. I'm gonna do it real quick. The reason why Brother Bones and I connected, people didn't realize this, because even in his name, I said something and he caught it because I caught his name. See, I'm a Trekkie. I used to watch Star Trek. And everybody say, oh, it was Mr. Spock and Captain Kirk were tight. No. Captain Kirk's best friend was Bones, McCoy, because he never called Captain Kirk Captain. He always called him Jim. Go look at all the movies, look at all the shows. He never called him Captain. He called him Jim. And I tell you, they were tight like glue. He didn't even call him James. He called him Jim. That's why I didn't get offended when knuckleheads try to call me Choctaw Jimmy. You calling me who I am, dummy. Anyway, that's why I said, when you know that you know that you know that you know. Look it up for yourself. Bones McCoy was Captain James T. Kirk's best friend, not Mr. Spock. To Brother Copper, like I say, he's over there. He's slashing throats like the Ghostface Killer. In case y'all didn't know, he is the Grudge. So when you come through and then people can't talk because he's breaking windpipes, that's Brother Copper. You'll hear him on some of those too, on those calls. He try to tell y'all. So when people start disappearing, that's because Brother Copper Indio has eliminated them with the information. Brother Kerry, truly the carpenter's son. So when y'all think about all this stuff and getting into time nativity scene, y'all make sure y'all get a little picture of Brother Kerry and put it on the doll and put it under the tree, because that's the true carpenter's son. If y'all don't know who's building, he's building. To those in the chat today, special shout out to the best chat in the cosmos, but especially those from Dallas, because you stood up and you represented today. Woo! Somebody been watching for a long, long time. David Corey, Old Cliff Tip. Oh man, dropping those names. Woo! My main man, Macadon 1. To the law firm of Cheeks and Associates, Michael dropping those names. And I keep trying to tell you over and over and over. In case you didn't know, that's when you got a chat. Then the chat doesn't shut off, and you got a forum where people can give information, and you keep seeing it, and it's out there. And so anybody that's claiming to be a researcher and they can't find out stuff for themselves and don't really know what's going on and think they know what's going on, but they don't. Now, let me get to the bottom of my list here. Shout out to Smokey the Bear for the national parks, because only you can prevent forest fires. Shout out to, man, I don't want to do it like that. Shout out to Robin with 2 B's, like Robin and Stillin, Robin, Batman and Robin. Shout out to,
I don't think I ever heard that before in my life. Yo, are you serious? You, Batman and Robin, yo. Oh my God.
I had to get up for that one. Yo, damn.
Kill me now.
I didn't see that one coming.
You need a graphic.
Shout out to the Gooch. You know who you are. What you going around talking about? Oh yeah. Shout out to Liquid Plumber. Because the reason why I shout out to Liquid Plumber, because you know when people want flow charts and stuff, because all this stuff is all backed up and stuff. So shout out to Liquid Plumber and Xlax, so they can get those flow charts going. So they were backed up. Y'all know what you're talking about. When you watch the video on Ain't, you'll know what I'm talking about. Those are talking about they want some flow charts. Come on, son. Shout out. You know what? Oh man, I just got a new name. Not for those in this chat, but for those that are neutral. Shout out to Room 112, where the players dwell. Because then they the main ones that's, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening. That plausible deniability. Because if y'all know that 112 had a song out that says, I don't want to know. Keep it on the low. Because I don't want to know. With that, I'm off this cotton picking mic.
Yeah, I know I'm not following that right.
Yeah, he is. You just said it.
No, I'm not following that.
That's not valid.
Your lips burnt. Try to test that spoon, it was too hot.
I got some tongs. I picked up my guy with some tongs. I'm not having that.
Coming right behind you.
It's radioactive. It's radioactive. It's radioactive.
Right behind you.
Oh my God, you're peeking over your shoulder, watching you burn yourself.
David Court talking about some TMAs. Come on, bro. You hold us up. Any other time you want somebody to hold you up. Now I'm holding you up. Really? Really? Really?
What? Man. That is a clone. Who are you? What have you done with David Court?
I just caught the side of mine because you know he yelling. He yelling all caps like his phone broke.
Yep.
You ain't got no lowercase on your phone, man. Is every letter capital? You ain't got no lowercase letters? Even your numbers capital? What's going on?
Fire like Dylon.
You tell me some y'all don't know me.
You can make the song or not make the song. You too close, man. You too close.
You too close, man.
Oh boy. Oh, so now you see what he did? Y'all see what he did? He ran a lowercase over some hay. You stupid. Now we know your phone works, so why you always yelling? So I'm hard of hearing that. He yelling at text. Just screaming. He's just screaming. Even his emojis in capital. I'm just saying. Let's
I
see.
forgot one other shout out.
Go ahead, do it.
David Corey put that hey in there. Shout out to DeAndre Cole. Hey. Ooh wee. What's up with that?
Just as the mic was cooling off. Really? That's what we doing?
There'd be no doo-doo business without DeAndre Cole.
Fair enough. I think I done said enough. I'm a shout out.
Got anything to say for anybody?
Huh? What happened? Anyway, know what happened? Shout out to the silent majority. Now it's time to show and prove. Y'all been silent. Y'all been watching. Y'all been witnessing. Y'all been taking it in. So now I'm gonna put the responsibility on y'all, and that's the one of y'all. So the plural of y'all is all y'all. I'm gonna put the responsibility on all y'all to question whatever come out of people's mouth on these YouTube channels and these streets. Because if y'all don't do it, it won't get done. See, if I do it, I'm hating. But if y'all do it, y'all investigating. You know. Stop being silent and waiting. It's time to participate. So let's get it. To the best chat on earth and on the website and YouTube, dagnabbit. Appreciate y'all. Continue to question everything and everybody. Call them out. Ask for proof. Don't just let people make statements and then don't ask for no proof. See if they're real. Test the spirit, right? Test to see if the information is true. One thing about truth is it does not need to be defended. As LJ Free once told me, or used to always tell me, the truth will defend itself. All you gotta do is set it free. So, are you gonna let the truth set it? Are you gonna let people, are you gonna make people tell the truth? Or are you just gonna continue to just accept what they say? The choice is yours. Y'all know what we saying. We got receipts on what we saying. So my question to you is, what are you saying? Y'all know how I feel about scammers. Y'all know how I feel about neutral people. So don't get caught being neutral around me. That's all I'm gonna say about that. So to the new subscribers, the new registrars, to the website, appreciate you. Don't forget to download that app. And talk to us. Let us know how you feel. Let us know what's going on. And for those that want to help, come into the chat. Come into the forum. Let people know who you are. Add people to your account so y'all can walk people through stuff and help each other on the forum on the website. That way, anytime something happens and you need to reference certain information, it will be on the forum. That's what the forum was designed for. It's not designed for us to just be on here and then when the show is over for everybody to be like peace and disappear. I'm just saying. Actions dictate what you're doing. Okay? Whether you're doing something in your community or whether you're doing something, outside your community. Your actions will dictate what you do. I go off what y'all do, I don't go off what y'all say or what y'all text. Because at the end of the day, we had over 530 subscriptions on YouTube. Here's a question. Why don't we have 530 registrars on the website? That tells me everything I need to know. If you real and you support real, you're here. If you don't, you ain't. It don't take a lot to subscribe to the website. It don't take long to put that information in. It don't take long to access and help. So, just remember, I don't listen to what you say, I watch what you do. And I also watch what you don't do. So with that, just remember, everything we do is for people's betterment and for the betterment of their community. And so you'll know who you are. So can't nobody tell you who you're not. All right? So with that, I'm going to relinquish the mic and turn it over to Bones H. McCoy, old boy. And, you know, continue to let them know that you are not to be played with because you're not a toy. I relinquish the mic.
All right. Much respect to TMH, No Sellout, James Flame, Gabby, Copper Indio, Brother Carrie Bay, LJ Free, and a lot of names that I probably forgot at this moment. Appreciation to the chat, the ones that have been active from day one, and the ones that have been in the background listening, because it takes all of us coming together for this to be possible. And it's going to take all of us moving forward to keep it going. What we have right here this day before us is what a lot of people talk about and say that they're doing. We have our own platform, relative. Again, when I say we, I mean we have our own platform to where we don't have to be stuck on YouTube or Facebook or platforms that's designed without our best interest in mind, to where our energy is used to bring in advertising dollars for these companies that would never put a dime, let alone a penny, back in your community. We have the ability to use this platform, not only for this show, but 24-hour communication that's not tracker registered by Google or any other third-party company. If we say what we do is about having our own, then let's realize we have our own. That we do have the means of communication 24/7. We do have the ability to put our own images on our own television network. American Indian Network Television doesn't belong to me or TMH. American Indian Network Television belongs to the American Indians. So we have an outlet to show our images, our media, to where we don't have to be bombarded by the programs or this program on television or cable networks or through movies. We have a place to store our information that doesn't belong to a third party, so we can research as a unit and store what we find. It does us no good if we don't use it. As you listen to the tapes that's on AIM, you will realize how we keep saying everything that we were saying then, we are doing now. And everything was designed for the embedment of the American Indian. We can make a change. We can put power back in our hands, but real power. Use our television station as leverage towards commercials. 30,000 American Indians on one channel, that's exclusive. Now we can tell Toyota what it takes to advertise on our station if we want them there. We dictate that. And what's even better, we can take the funds from this advertising and put it back to the community, because we are that community, and use these funds to build our physical communities, to improve them, generated by ourselves. It's not the end game, it's the start. It's the start. Because if you're not even trying to start, why are you even talking end? we had the ability to go into next year, 2020, to drop all baggage that's unnecessary to get this done. And it's not going to include everyone. Because again, everyone isn't us. Everyone does not have the same story. But those of us who do, who hear the call, it's time for us to move forward. Stop waiting. Stop procrastinating. Yes, we cannot do this alone, but together we can accomplish anything. Brother James pointed out that in less than a year, we have accomplished what channels and other people have been saying they've been trying to do for 3 and 4. We are totally independent of a YouTube, of a Facebook. We own the platform. It belongs to the American Indians. This is proof what happens when we come together. We're not telling you, we're showing that if we want better, then let's come together to build better. If you tired of how you are viewed, then let's create program that shows us in a better light. We don't gotta beg nobody to show it. We have the channel to show it. We support it and watch everybody run and want a part of it. This is how it has always been done. The problem is we are not using it. We are not activating. We letting everybody do it to us. So my Indian brothers and sisters, relatives, let's take what we have built, again, what we have built, and add on to it. The structure is here. Now we need additions. So on that note, everyone, have a very blissful day. Keep doing what you're doing. Take time out for genealogy. Work together on genealogy. We have a phone that's 24 hours. We can work till sundown, sun come back up on genealogy. To the next Rising Show. Peace.
Peace, 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 peace.
You know, words are too short. You better subscribe to I Ain't Tripping No More.
more, Lamar, more. It's America, bro. It's America. Was here. More.
Oh, and don't forget, the conversation continues over on Ain't. The chat is 24/7. So we can all go over there and go through this beautiful bean footage and conversate about it. Chat never shuts down. We home. Let's use it.
Have a beautiful day, everybody.
Okay, so I'm gonna mute everybody now since y'all don't mute yourself. All right.
See that cat over there? That cat? It's a meerkat. Meerkat. More cat. More.
See how that work? Bye, y'all.
I was trying to answer your question.
Warning, warning, warning. Hard hats, pickaxe, shovels, boots, required.